Why? There it goes. There it goes. So now it should be coming through, and now you should be. No, I know what it is. Yeah, now you can hear me, but I gotta fix you guys. I know what it is. I know what it is. Uh,
He's fixing it, Viper. He's aware
all
of
right,
it.
there we go.
You should be able to hear him now. Go ahead. Innate is douchebag. Did it come through?
It's coming through. It's got to be
He
coming through
got it.
now.
Okay. Then shout out to Innate for fixing it. Shout out to Viper for letting us know.
Yeah, man.
And sorry for the inconvenience.
Slight audio
And
problems.
again,
It happens.
yeah, Game Player episode 44. We have a lot to discuss. But before we do so, let's introduce our panel member. Innate, how are you? What you been playing?
Yeah, like I said, I'm good, man. I said I woke up this morning and started playing a little bit of Forza Horizon 5, trying out the new DLC.
I
Um,
have a question about that.
yeah, go ahead.
I read that it's almost like a copy paste from the previous DLC that was on the previous Forza.
So I was a big skeptic of that, and I thought it would be, but it's actually not. They actually did
Okay,
a lot of new
gotcha.
things and a lot of new track types and a bunch of other things that they started to really just move the needle. And I was one of the first people to be like, wait, are they just gonna copy it? And they didn't. Like it's a completely new area. Um,
Shout out to them
nothing
for
like
that.
that. Yeah, so it's actually really well done and really well thought out. And a lot of the cars they included from Hot Wheels are very iconic and stuff. It's a lot of fun. They did a really good job on it.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, also of course, um, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 being the main one that I am heavily going into. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm starting to unlock some of the other classes and some of the secret things that you wouldn't know unless you played it. Um, and I'm getting deeper and deeper into it. I'm excited to get further, as a lot of people, of course, are referencing a lot of things saying that the game has a lot of relationship to Xenogears, which, of course, as you guys know, that is
Dude,
my favorite game of
I
all time.
I am so afraid now to going in this game
Yeah.
because I feel now I'm gonna be completely lost.
No, 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 no. So I'm getting what they're saying, right? There's some nuances and some things that basically they mirrored like some storytelling elements,
Mm-hmm.
and basically which makes sense, right? If you actually understand how Xenogears works, right? Part of the way it works, right? And this isn't like a spoiler for the game or anything because I'm not even at that point. But one of the ways it works, right, is everyone is a reincarnation, right? Not saying Xenoblade
Mm,
is. I'm saying in Xenogears, everyone is a reincarnation of basically something that has happened before, like a cycle of beginning and destruction, alpha and
mm-hmm.
omega, that kind of stuff. So you start to realize the entities are and the people in your party are all people who were there prior. They have prior existences, which is again why in Xenosaga, which like I said is a prequel, um, they appear again eventually the closer you get. So more towards Xenosaga 3, you start to see people who show up in Xenogears, but it's not them. It's the incarnation of them before Xenogears.
Mm,
So a lot of people are saying they see kind of some symbolisms and storytelling elements um, that resemble that. So yeah. So I mean, what will it? I'm gonna be a very harsh judge of that because you know how much I love Xenogears. So I'm
mm-hmm.
not just gonna let some loose relation just fly. So it's got to be top tier, and you know it's got to be 100% accurate. Like I'm gonna be on it. So I'm looking for it now. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen it, but I'm interested to see what people are talking about, and I really do hope it reminds me of that. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But like I said, it's been a lot of fun. I think you're gonna thoroughly enjoy the game when you finally get a chance to play it. It's for lack of a better term, like people want to coin the phrase peak fiction or whatever. It is a lot of fun and it's really great in just so many aspects, including the combat.
I I watched a gameplay, like for example, a little bit of gameplay of
Hmm.
a side quest, and I was so lost with the combat. I'm
Yeah,
like, everyone
and
is doing things.
you will be until you understand what's happening, right? Like it looks
Mm.
like chaos, but
It is
when you
absolutely chaos because
yeah,
you're literally controlling six people, or seven people. Like, what the hell?
yeah. So when you actually start playing and you get a feel for it and then you understand what's happening, you'll realize that everyone is just essentially doing a job that
Hmm.
synchronizes with each other, and once you know what they're doing, it'll all make sense. Like trust me, it looks like
Mm.
chaos from the outside because there's a bunch of things going off, there's a bunch of skills and all this stuff, but when you're focused on that enemy and you know who you are controlling and what position you're playing, then
Hmm.
you'll really get it. Trust me, it'll be a lot of fun.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, anything else you playing?
um that's, I mean, that's pretty much the main stuff, other than like,
Setting Sentinels on the background now for a bit.
yeah, just for a bit, because I mean, Xenoblade is. I don't want anybody to screw it up. Like, I'm usually not concerned about spoilers and stuff like that, but people have been sharing like a lot of gameplay and a lot of screenshots.
Oh
So,
yeah,
yeah, like I wanna really really press on
I
it.
feel you. I
Yeah.
feel you with that one. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, Morgan, Mrs. Late, how are you? What you been playing?
First of all, I'm never late. Okay, you guys are just early. Right?
Gotcha.
Mrs.
Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
Noted.
Yeah, I just had to
Cadence.
Noted.
clarify that.
All right,
Hmm.
Nintendo, I see you.
Okay. But yeah, I'm still playing Cold of the Lamb.
Oh, I thought by
Trying to
now
get
you
the
must have
platinum.
finished it.
Nah, because I'm working on the platinum. I want the plat, so
Oh, okay.
and unfortunately there are a lot of bugs in my way of getting the plat,
Damn.
but yeah. Like
Hoping for that patch soon,
yeah, my guess is probably
right after you finish
a
it.
week or two. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't see it coming quickly. Like because there's just so many different uh platforms that they patch and so many different bugs, and I'm sure it's a small team, so
Yeah.
I don't see it coming anytime soon, unfortunately. But hopefully I can work around it. Like I'm having to like restart it a lot because sometimes my code will just disappear entirely, and like parts of um my little village will disappear and just like not pop in at all. So I have to restart the game and shit, and it gets really annoying. But it's I keep playing because like the game fundamentally is good. Like it's good, it's addicting. Like the base is there, but it's just all these bugs and glitches are just frustrating. But
Gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha. Anything game breaking so far?
um, there was one section like where I was in my temple or whatever, and every time I tried to sacrifice somebody, the game would like freeze, and it would just be frozen. Like I could hit start and pull the menu up and everything like that, but the game itself was just frozen. So I had to like go back in the main menu and restart the game. But fortunately, I could save at that point, so it wasn't like I lost anything. But it was still mad frustrating, like because I needed a certain number of sacrifices in order to get a trophy. So yeah,
I would
I
be feeling the
finally,
shit.
yeah, I
Shit.
finally got past that. But yeah,
Mm. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Weep, how are you? What you been playing?
I'm good. I've been playing still Sword and Fairy, and also played the demo of Diefield Chronicles. Chronicle,
Hmm?
and yeah, I actually surprisingly liked it a lot. So I think I'm forced to gonna buy the game in September. Since it's also basically just the first chapter, so you can transfer your save.
That's what I like to
Uh,
hear. We.
Yes. No, actually, it um, surprising how well I've integrated real time strategy into the game. And yeah, I mean the voice actors are pretty good. I mean, I've now, somehow I think there's some sort of renaissance there. Like, let's hire actually British actors to do these aristocratic characters, right? I mean, it feels so much more authentic, right? So I mean, I quite like it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to learn where it's going. It is also I don't think there's going to be any sort of penalty for getting characters killed because so far they can just be revived, but so I don't think there's any permanent risk of losing any characters permanently, like with Valkyria Chronicles, for example. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. So yeah, and I'm gonna have a Sophie's choice in deciding what to play in September because that's gonna be
A
busy.
question: Do you feel did you get something out of the demo after the ending? Because I have yet to finish that demo because I want to finish the full game. But if you get something from the demo, like for example a weapon or something like that, then I will go finish the demo.
Well, I don't know if they're gonna give you rewards for playing the demo. That usually you'll find it out when you actually buy the game. But essentially, this is the first chapter, so you can just play that and you can transfer your save file. So then you don't have to replay that in the main game.
Gotcha. Yo, shout out Dimes is here. Also, fuck you, Gaming Despair, saying he wanna watch boxing. When have you ever joined? Come on. And shout out to Viper Reap. Anything else you're playing?
No, just those. Yeah, just Sword and Fairy trying to finish that one.
Gotcha. Substrictly, I had the feeling where Dime is strictly gonna show up after it. Um, so what I have been playing. So I finished a game called, and people are harping because of the fucking name, The Missing J.J. McField and the Island of Memories. And this game is an amazing game. Gameplay wise, it's platformer with some puzzle elements, light puzzle elements. But the story, dude, and the interaction between the characters, I truly enjoyed. And the ending hit you with that. Damn. I don't want to spoil it. I highly recommend it. If you got PlayStation Premium, you can play it. Otherwise, it's what, 15 bucks, 10 bucks, I don't know. I highly recommend it. JJ McField and the missing and the island of the missing JJ McField and the island of memories. After finishing that game, I started a game called Agent of Mayhem, and I was directly hooked because I always love games like that. I'm having a blast, so much fun with that game, and I was playing it via what's called Game Share, and I saw it had two DLC, character DLC. I wanted them, so I bought them on my main account, and I tried to use them in from the what's called Game Share, and apparently between countries there is no PAL edition, which surprised the fuck out of me. I thought we moved past that, but nope. I literally bought the game, which was literally $2 was that back then, just so I can play the game and the DLC. But the problem is I wanted to use the save file, but I had to start all over again. So now I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that a different time, cause I busted my ass up and grinded, and what level 19 or something like that. Well, in chapter 2, so I'm gonna take a break from that. I started Puppeteer. I'm at chapter 2. I also took a break from that, and I started a game called Trials of Mana. I'm
Okay.
having a blast.
Good
Sorry?
on you.
What?
I said good on you. Trials of Mana is great.
Yeah, it's a great game. Did you finish it?
Yes,
Did you get the platinum?
yes.
Okay, let me then ask you this. Do you need to get every single chain link skill in order to get the platinum?
I don't remember, dude.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
he did that a while back.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, because there are so in order to get some certain skills, you need to have certain people in your party member. Um, so I'm running three-way mages, one a healer, one a damage dealer, and the other is a summoner, right up my alley. And I'm really debating if I'm gonna start a second run after I'm done with the first one on run right away, cause I really want to get the platinum with that game. I'm really having fun with that game. And yeah, that's about it. Before we start the competition, shout out to the people that came through. Dime, Strictly, Blade 4K, and yeah, and the regular crew in this. The first topic we're gonna talk about is shout out to Ember Lab. Ember Lab is bringing new enemies and new bosses sequences. That's what hooked me up. What's called a few new costumes and stuff like that. Not per se important, but they also bring in new game plus to Kaina, a Bridge of Spirit, and all I will say is a new game plus is going to break the game in the sense of it's gonna make the game way easier when it comes to fighting your enemies, unless they make the enemies harder, more difficult, and the bosses more difficult. Then I wish to whomever gonna play the game on the hardest difficulty in order to get the platinum. Good luck, cause harder mode is absolutely rough. Also, I hope they fix the parrying,
Yeah,
cause that shit,
that's something that definitely needs to be adjusted still.
according to Jay
Yeah, that
Bari,
Parian
it's
kicked
a
my
me
ass.
issue.
Man,
Cause that parrying,
according to Jay Bari, you should be busting out 64 hit juggle combos while dodging and blocking at the same time. So,
yeah.
that's just different.
Listen, I had to learn to adjust. Like, okay, it's a slight, like, it's not correct. Like, I have to wait a second before I parry. Like,
Before you
the
parry,
shit I had to do.
exactly.
Yeah, I had to acclimate. Like, it threw off the rest of my games. Like, I was like, damn. Because now,
Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't work. That's the issue.
yeah, it was very inconsistent.
Yeah, they need
I don't
to
know if they're gonna fix that, but
holler at the Ghost of Tsushima team about that beautiful
Oh yeah,
parry.
yeah, I don't know
yeah.
what it is.
That
It's like indie games, man. Because it was the same way with
Trek to
Trek to
Yomi.
Yomi. Like the pair was off.
Yep.
but oh yeah, and finally I found out why I can't upload stuff on Twitter. Apparently, my PlayStation can only have 5 megabyte what's called upload speed. And according to Aaron, shout out to Aaron, all I need is a 3 megabyte or something like that to be able to do so. And I have absolutely no idea that was the issue. I already spoke with the PlayStation support and I got the scare of my life. I found out that my PlayStation 5 warranty is no more. So, hey,
I mean, most
you,
of ours isn't because it's been
I
like almost
hope,
2 years.
Yeah.
yeah, like that shit scared the fuck out of me. So I'm
You
like,
should.
hey,
You'll be all right.
you better behave or else I'm screwed.
No,
Because,
I think it'll get buffed out for you in one of the upcoming updates. Probably the one that I'm on now for the beta. It'll probably alleviate it for you because
Shit,
it's
I still haven't put that beta code in.
yeah. I know
I
somebody else was
I
asking me. I was like, nah, you can't get that, bro. I'm waiting on it.
I couldn't use the beta because I'm not in the USA. So
Yeah.
fuck you guys.
So wait, haven't you uploaded on Twitter before, or is it just a recent
No,
problem?
it's a recent problem for him.
Oh,
I
okay.
uploaded until Stray. When Stray came
Oh,
out, I
okay.
was still uploading, and after that,
Yeah, I was about to say I definitely seen you put some
like
gameplay clips
I
up.
have
Yeah.
I have so many gameplay ready. I have gameplay for Blasphemous. I have every single boss fight on there. I wanted to upload them on YouTube, almost like a separate section for it. And I have gameplay for JJ McField. I wanted to upload that, a few clips on here and there. I I am screwed. I am screwed. Because I truly love uploading gameplay. Because
You're gonna have to do it like the bots do, and just put you know
I
random
might
clips
need
up there and have people
to
guess whether it's actually yours or not.
Mm-hmm.
I might need to buy a what's called an
An
SSD or
SSD.
something like that, and
Yeah, make sure you get
link
the two
it.
terabyte.
Yeah, so I need to think about that because I truly look like shout out to Bram. He bought Celeste out of my gameplay, so I can't think of any more better experience than that. Someone to buy a game because of your gameplay, because you're enjoying the game. Um, I'm doing fine. How are you, Dime? Feel free to answer her, everyone.
No, no, we good. We good over here.
Hmm.
Enjoying
Always.
gaming.
Mhm.
I can't
Unlike the
game.
other half of Twitter.
Oh, never
Oh
mind.
man.
I should be able to game. I should be able to game, but I'm paying attention to chat.
Nah, nah, you good.
Um, yeah. Shout out to you again for the stream. Again, you can literally see the 30, 70, 30, 80, 90 being used. We're watching gameplay in 4K, 8K, Block A. But yeah, let's start the first topic, which would be then, yeah, Kena. Again, shout out to Ember Lab. Because of the introduction of new boss phases, and also because of uh, new enemies, I'm definitely gonna jump back in because I love Kena. But this time,
Hmm.
I'm not playing it on the hardest difficulty. Fuck you, Kena. Nah, I'm
Damn.
playing
All
it
right.
on normal.
Yeah, I feel that.
Because as much as I love Kena, I hate the fucking parry mechanic. Inconsistent, and when it works, I can literally four shot a boss, but when it doesn't work, I'm screwed. Um, yeah, Nate, what's your thoughts on Kena? Oh, yeah,
And how he gonna cheat about on that platinum? Let's talk about
it's
that.
gonna absolutely cheat. Well, not cheat,
Hmm.
but more of
His loopholes. Yeah. Okay. That's
No,
okay.
not
Okay.
it
loopholes.
depends. It depends. If the enemies are stronger, because he need to play it on the hardest difficulty, and you're gonna have extra difficulty to deal with, then good luck. I don't think he's gonna be able to make it.
Yeah,
Oh man.
we're gonna see. I'm looking forward to the rest of the stuff, regardless of the new game plus. I mean, once we figure out how that works, it'll be interesting to see if that's gonna tie into the platinum, or, even if so, if they're gonna just make it harder. Like, what are they gonna do? So, the new boss phases, like that's going above and beyond. That's crazy. That's usually something that's honestly unheard of in uh,
Yeah,
a lot of updates and stuff like that. So that's another major win from them. I'm looking forward to the new outfits and stuff like that. Being able to switch her up, see what they have in mind for it.
I
Um,
really hope that the new outfit give her a different gameplay,
yeah,
but I think it's just gonna be
yeah. I
cosmetic.
think it's just going to be cosmetic, but I mean, if they're going to go further or deeper into it, and adjust the mechanics, I could see it. I mean, the game is obviously crafted very well. From all of
Oh
our
yeah,
experiences with it, one of the highest experience I've ever had in an indie game, bar none.
oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, this update, is surprising, and I'm looking forward to it to really see how they flesh it out. What they've been working on in the meantime. But I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it.
Gotcha. Weeb, are you getting back into Kena?
I don't know. I'll have to check and see what actually is going to get added. And yeah, I don't know if I think I still need the hard mode trophy. So
Uh,
maybe New Game Plus might be a way to get into that, but I
I
don't know.
don't think I don't think so for a simple reason because with the introduction of new bot phases, doing it on hard mode is gonna be fucking terrible.
Oh,
Yeah,
also one more thing that I didn't note. Uh, just for anybody that forgot all the stuff they're adding, one of the things they're adding is accessibility features. So
Oh yeah,
in order to
Oh, man.
even if they don't change the parry, one of the accessibility features, if it mimics what other games have mimicked in the past, when adding accessibility features, they may have an increased time to parry as part of the
then
In
accessibility
I'm
other
feature.
definitely
words,
gonna
Anae
use
says,
that.
he can lower the boss's difficulty in order to accomplish his platinum.
No,
That's what he's saying. He
real
can
talk
handicap
though.
the enemies.
Real talk though. When Kane and Perry work well, I could literally one almost four shot a boss, and I'm talking about in before end game on pass level of four shots.
It's a
Like
beautiful thing.
parrying in Kena is nice, but you need to know how to do it, and it needs to work. So being able to change it would be huge, but it's kind of needed because I have no issue with Perry being a little bit difficult, but make it consistent. Don't make it
Yeah,
inconsistent.
consistent. That was my problem.
Precisely. Morgan, are you gonna get back to Kena?
Yeah, I might try it out. I definitely did not get that platinum. That game beat my ass up and down. Like, I
What?
was
Am I
struggling
the only
just
one that
to
got
finish.
the platinum?
Out of us, yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
It seems to be.
That game was beating my ass like up and down the street.
Oh
I was
yeah,
just
I
happy to
know.
just to finish. I was like, oh yeah, I got the end. I was
Yeah,
doing it, and then I saw the trophy list and was like, "Oh, you got to beat this game on hard mode." I was like, "Sir, I just beat this game on normal, like, and
wait,
barely
you was
chugged
having
through."
hard time on normal?
Yes, sir. With that pairing, yes, the fuck I
Lady, you're
was.
screwed. Oh, lady, you're so screwed on hard mode.
I am
Let
not
me tell
like,
you
yeah.
why.
I'm the platinum is out of question.
Let
I'm
me
good.
tell you
I'm good on
why.
that.
Because in hard mode, if you take hit, you lose some of your wrath. So basically, mana.
Like permanently, or just for the boss fight.
No. In general, like you can, if you deal damage, you gain hit, you gain wrath. But if you take hit, you lose wrath.
Oh wow.
Yeah. See, I'm good on all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Especially the final boss, there is a section where they literally remove wrath out of you for a section, and good luck surviving that rejection.
I remember
One
Mm-mm.
that
of
section.
one of the worst tedious moments of all time for me.
Yeah. Nah.
Not looking forward to
Yeah,
that.
good luck.
I'm okay with not getting that plat. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna just let it go.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if the game was beating you on easy on normal, good luck with hard mode. Nah,
Yeah, no.
you you're gonna be destroyed. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Like, I'm honest about it. I don't feel the need to cap. It's okay. That game beat my fucking
Okay,
ass on normal. That's the truth. All
gotcha.
right.
Viper, are you gonna play it? Auto chat, are you guys gonna play it again? Let me know in the
I know
comments.
Strictly ain't going back. I
Oh,
know he
oh
likes
man, don't
the
be
up
speaking in.
I know he likes the update, but he got the platinum already, so
Oh, okay. Shout out to
Hey,
Strict.
shout out
Okay.
to Turkey for the plat. Shout
yeah.
out to Turkey for the plat.
Before
Nice.
the update.
Damn. Damn. All right.
That's my boy,
You didn't
but
have to add that. You didn't have to add that. That wasn't necessary.
that's my boy, but
Look, this man talking like he don't be using all the loopholes to get platinum. It's like, relax, sir,
I mean,
relax.
Oh no shame, because I would have done it too. If I would have beat that shit in
Mm-hmm.
time, I would have definitely done that
Mm-hmm.
shit.
yeah.
don't
See,
and don't
shameful.
don't let a physical copy come out and and it be the 1.0 version, I'm gonna definitely do it.
Oh man.
Oh
He said
damn,
no
this
patch.
cheater.
No
He
shade.
said
Um,
he said
we
patch
have the
denied.
we have the rec here. How are you, dude? What you been playing?
Oh, what's going on, everybody? Man, look, I'm playing all types of games, man. Right now I'm trying to platinum Cyberpunk.
Oh
Um,
shit. Okay, I see you.
let's see, what else?
You're
I'm
one
playing,
second away from getting the boot. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Continue.
How many trophies are in Cyberpunk? I feel like it's a lot.
that's 40 something trophies. 40 something
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
trophies.
think
That's
it's
not
like
bad.
four. I
All
think
right.
it's like 46 or something.
Oh, okay.
46. 46. I got 40. I got 5 left. 5 trophies left.
Oh
Nice.
shit. Okay.
Um, I'm currently working on the money thing. Trying to deal with it. Um, I'm playing Fire Girl, Hack and Splash. Um, I just recently picked up. Biomutant from a friend of mine, and got Jedi Fallen Order. So I got that,
And you
and
picking up
then
all
I
picking
gotta
up
go.
all kinds of goodies. I see you.
All right. Like damn. All right.
I've yet to play
Uh,
that, so I feel you. I played the
What?
demo. Yeah, I'm
Should
not
I
a
fall in order?
huge. I'm just yeah. I'm not a huge
Oh
Star Wars.
yeah.
I never
You go
watched
ahead
any
and they go
Star
ahead and
Wars.
kick Omar out the panel,
You
please. Like
can't
what?
kick me. I am the
What?
owner. I never. I
Sir.
only
Sir.
watched one movie. I
Sir.
think of Star Wars.
We don't do that here. Oh man.
so I got Chorus. I picked up Chorus
Oh,
for
of course,
PS5.
yeah.
Oh,
I
you
started.
playing Chorus? How far are you?
No, no.
I think you
I
just
played the
picked it up.
demo, but
Yeah.
I picked it up
Oh,
because
you
I don't
picked
have a
it up.
PS5
Yeah,
still.
I missed out on it. What's the name of that game? Spy Girl? That
Oh, Fire Girl.
how do you type it?
Oh, it's just Fire Girl, Hack and Splash. It should pop up when you put Fire Girl together.
The problem is I can't even hear what you're saying in sense of that's my bad hearing issue.
I'll
Can you
find it.
type it in chat, please?
I
Yeah.
got you.
Thank you. So what else are you playing?
Um, let's see. Man, I've been playing too many games lately. You
I
know,
feel you.
Never a bad thing.
Question: how are you with changing between game to game? Does your hand all of a sudden press a different button or it's supposed to press? Like for example, you wanna jump and all of a sudden you're hitting someone by accident because you're used to use jump button by a different.
no, it's actually like it's instant. It's instant. Once I was jump into the next game, I knew the controls, and if I jump into a new game, I know the controls. It's like I'm used to that all around the
Gotcha.
way.
Yeah,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
not
It's
gonna front.
second
I'm not
nature.
gonna front like that. I definitely hit the shit out of my horse on Ghost of Tsushima going back to that
Oh
game.
yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
yeah. Because
This
I went out,
game.
did that, and played Red Dead at the same time. So like every time, like Red Dead, you got to get on a horse. I think it's like triangle, maybe, or R1,
It's
whatever,
yeah, it's the
whichever way. I
opposite.
kept.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the opposite. So I kept. I definitely. Luckily, you can't kill your horse like you can in Red Dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely hit that bitch. I felt so bad. He kept running away from me. Like, oh man, it was bad.
Thank you for Innate and Morgan for coming through with this game. I forgot about this game. I'm pretty sure Viper forgot about it. Called
It's
Fire
on
Girl.
sale. It's on sale.
Yeah, I seen it. That's a definitely pick up. Um. So other than that, you playing something else or no? That's about it.
I put in Dust Diver. I bought that.
Mm-hmm.
Put it out. This just remind me of Persona 5 Strikers. And
Okay.
yeah.
You've been on a pickup spree. I see.
Yeah, damn. Okay.
Yeah. Pick
Oh.
some. Pick some for us as well. Come on,
I know.
it's sharing, caring.
This man said.
Well, I
This man
picked
said
up.
Black Friday
Um,
came early.
What you are you gonna play the update for the Kana?
Oh yes, I will. I platinumed that too. Like what last week, 2 weeks
I
ago.
think Red Platinum did. Okay.
Yeah, he platinumed it. Yeah.
And so I was like, I was determined to beat that. I was
Hey,
determined to beat.
hey, I feel you. I so much feel you. I was having a hard time with the final boss. Not per se
Right.
the final boss itself, because the first two phases, I can do that without taking any damage. The
Yeah,
first phase is where shit gets real.
yeah.
Also, when you're fighting the Wood Knight without your fucking rod, that's
Hmm.
horrible.
Oh, I figured out a strategy for that though. I figured out a strategy.
Lucky
All you gotta
fucker.
do, all you gotta do is shoot your bow and keep dodging or parry the
Nah,
his attack. He
nah,
get
you're literally, that's literally almost like what, doing stamina fights, that at some point you're gonna make a mistake and you die. Nah, I
Don't hate
tried
on this
that.
man's strategy. All right.
Om-
Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
Omar said
Okay.
that's too risky.
Nah, I was like, nah, fuck all
right.
that.
This is the strategy I went
Okay,
with. This is the
gotcha.
strategy I went with. So
Stop
Rod got
stranded ninja
Let me get
gaming.
my hold on. Let me get my pen and paper out. Let me take notes. All right, go ahead.
the
All
Rod.
you
Okay,
gotta do is what?
All you gotta do is when it comes down to it, shoot your arrows right at the weak spots. Then when he comes time to grab you, you just dodge into his underarm. You just
Into his
dodge into
underarm. Okay.
So you're
and
dodging
shoot. And,
towards him.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
nah,
Yeah, I
but
was definitely dodging away, but all
Hmm.
right. Maybe that was my problem.
that's the
yeah,
first
no,
part.
the issue is it's always not having rot. You're so used to your fight with rot
Mm-hmm.
that when you don't have it, you're like, damn, I'm weak. I'm so weak.
Yeah,
And the
I
problem
definitely
is,
need my little homies. They be smacking people
and,
up.
Hmm.
and if you die, you need to start over all the way from
Yeah,
the first phase of the fight.
yeah, yeah. But see, that's a good strategy because you don't get hit. As long as you don't get hit for the first part, that's the, that's the next part. Now the next part, you aim for the little bat looking things or the kind of little bug looking things up there. Aim for the first, and then jump around and shoot your arrow. Wow, and throw little bombs or whatever to keep the other enemies distracted, and aim for the dude with the weapon. So you get him out the way, then you don't have to worry about these guys. So the next part is what the
Hold on. No
wood knight
bombs. Hold
comes.
on. Damn. All right.
Yeah, this
Go
man
ahead. Go
said
ahead.
don't get hit. No bombs. I'm like,
No bomb. Like I'm trying to write notes over here. Relax.
Oh, no, retalk so. I went all two phases without taking any damage. It's the first phase that fucked me up all the time.
Yeah,
It's the laser. When he starts doing the laser, that's
mm-hmm.
so random. I'm talking about
Oh,
the meteorite. The,
for that one, oh, bro, all you gotta do is dodge through the laser. That's all you gotta
yes,
do.
that's
Damn. Wait, no, all the
easy
little
to.
cheats. All right.
You think it's easy to do, but when you have enemies hitting you and stuff like that, like nah,
Nah,
dude.
nah, the first part.
Especially when you need to gather rot so you
Mm,
can finish that damn game, because you need
yeah.
rot in order to activate
I love
your
collecting the
ultimate
rods.
on the enemy.
But see, that's when
Uh,
you come in. You use your arrow to shoot your little enemies all around you, and you just keep jumping in the air so they won't hit you. And so
yeah,
whenever you do all that, you gotta
Yeah, that
also
slow
pay.
mo jump came in
this
handy.
this
It
dude
does.
sounds like Jay Body now, when
Oh
you need
man.
to like nah, dude. Trust me, I played that game. I know how difficult it is. It sounds easy, but when you need to act, what's it called,
All you got to do is not get
do it
hit,
in
Omar.
practice, huh?
Yeah. Come on now. Basic. Oh shit.
Good luck with the what's called update.
Oh,
Um,
y'all too, man.
Another topic would be Soul Hacker 2 came out and it's sitting on an 87. Oh no, 78 on Meta.
That was rude. You did it on purpose.
I didn't. I absolutely didn't. I
He
wish
said,
it wasn't.
whoops. I meant 78.
It's sitting on an 87 on Meta.
So small correction,
Uh,
it's not out yet, but the reviews came out. That's what you meant.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
what
so
I
is it the
said.
78 or the 87? Which one is it?
It's in 78,
Okay, okay.
and I'm like, interesting, because it's a Persona-esque game. You would expect it to be higher, especially now because Persona is more mainstream.
Maybe
So
it just wasn't as good as Persona.
I didn't read any reviews. I didn't watch any reviews, nor have I ever played the first game. So I have no idea what I'm expecting from it. I'm gonna play it and then judge it by myself for myself. But one comment I read was it's Persona without the soul, and I'm like, damn. So I'm curious. Anyone here picking it up? I know Viper is.
I mean, most likely, I'm just too busy with all the stuff I got on my plate already. So it's not that I'm not gonna get it. It'll just most likely be a Black Friday pickup because I can
Gotcha.
definitely foresee it being like $24.99. So yeah. Also, there's a shit ton of DLC on top of that. So yeah, it'll pay off to get it on sale because if I really end up liking it, I like to make sure I'm not missing any DLC and things like that. So
Gotcha.
yep.
Morgan,
No.
that's a good game for you because you are playing Persona and stuff like that.
I still gotta finish Persona.
Hmm?
So I still have to finish Persona. I don't need to get into another Persona like game.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair
she
point.
she said she playing
Also,
that S tier.
also
Mm-hmm.
after Persona, you
So I'm
have
gonna be
Persona
real
Striker.
pissed if it's not on the same league. I'm gonna be like, Omar, what the fuck is this?
Also, after Persona, you have Persona Striker to play through because that's a
Yeah,
sequel
I
to
think I'm gonna go
Persona.
back and play Persona 4 after I finish Persona 5.
I think you're gonna
Oh,
really like Persona 4 Golden,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
that's
gonna
what
line
people
up
tell
about
me.
the time, probably about the time you get around to finishing Persona 5. So yeah.
Yeah, PS5 version will come out. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'll
Oh,
get
yeah. I'm
that.
still waiting on that.
Yo,
Hmm.
Um, and another game came. Oh, sorry, Weeb. Are you picking up Soul Hacker 2?
Nah, don't think so.
Gotcha. I already have access to it. I'm just waiting on for it to be released. And if I'm done with Trials of Mana, then I'm definitely gonna start it and see what the fuss is about. Um, another game came out called Tiamos. Tiamus. Thymos, I think.
Everybody keeps
I
saying
miss
like Theamos or Thymus.
Yeah,
So yeah,
something like that. It's
Souls like.
a soul-like game, but apparently it's made by 10 people. Oh, 1 second. Standard. I am waiting on my Switch to arrive. Uh, I was supposed to get a Switch. Then I'm definitely gonna start the Xenoblade franchise. I don't have a Switch yet. Otherwise, I would be on Live and Live day zero or day one. And then what's called uh, Xenoblade. But yeah, so
so I miss
what's called Famous is made by 10 people and is sitting on 60 or 60 something on Meta or 70 something on Meta. I've seen.
Thymessa is
Hmm?
Thymessa is sitting at that.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
I have seen some people love it, some people hate it. I'm curious about it, but right now I have too many games to play, so that's definitely gonna be what's called um Black Friday pickup. Lucy, don't jump on the laptop, you will break everything. Sorry about that. I don't want that to break my stream. Um, so far these are the two games that came out. I think. Anyone here picking up Tiamat or Tiamat, whatever you want to call it?
You know how I feel about Souls games. Absolutely not.
So
Uh,
you're
Man's
not
a hater.
interested in Lies of P, Lies in P, or something like that.
I have to remember what that even looks like.
So
Pinocchio looking
that's a
Souls game.
Pinocchio game, Soulsborne game.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, gotcha. Morgan, are you interested in Tiamat?
No. I honestly haven't even heard of it until you guys just mentioned it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the pronunciation is Thymessa. You would have
Okay,
seen
thank you.
you would have seen it because Luca is playing it. You know how she
Okay,
is with
but
Souls likes.
I probably saw a Souls like game and immediately just scrolled by it, so
Yeah,
probably not.
you're like, oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. And no, I'm not picking up Lies of P. It does look good. I like the concept, cool. That's cool. Pinocchio. But it's still a Souls like or so I'm good.
Which
yeah, for sure.
gotcha. Nate, which game is this?
This
Is
is
it
the Black Myth
Caligula?
Wukong.
It's the Black Myth. Yeah.
No, this is a JRPG one.
You might be a little late.
Are you not talking about what's on screen?
Oh, never mind. Monarch. Okay, Monarch.
Monarch.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
Oh,
That's like,
okay.
yeah, you're a little behind.
I am
Yeah,
behind.
you're
Yeah,
behind.
because I was testing something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, hey, what's up, Stage? And yeah, we got new gameplay for Black Myth.
Yeah, it's looking real good.
Looking good. Looking
Uh,
really good.
I didn't care
I'm
about the
thinking about picking
cutscene.
this up.
I didn't care about the cutscene, but yeah, I watched the gameplay, and I'm like, it's interesting. You can literally freeze bosses. That's nice. Which make me question how many kills is this dude gonna have? Because this dude seems to be broken.
I mean, he is Wukong. I mean, Wukong is, you know, essentially, basically a battle god.
Yeah,
So,
the monkey god. I know.
yeah. So yeah,
I wish
I'm
I
excited for it.
like that you don't limit his skill set.
Yeah, definitely
I
not.
I would love him to have almost like as much skill set as, for example, Final Fantasy 16. Because
Agreed.
I heard that shit is gonna be crazy when it comes to skills.
And these boss battles in this game are looking really epic.
Oh yeah, especially because you can literally freeze them. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy. Because most of the time freeze and stop and sleep doesn't work on bosses.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Um what else? Yeah, I think that's about it. So we start the week up with about what's her name? Embracer Group buying a few studios. Give me a.
A few, putting
Do
it mildly.
Mm-hmm.
do you have it in you, Nate? Which studios they are and what they do?
Not what exactly they do, but I mean, I know one of the companies specifically they picked up, which isn't a dev, but is limited run games. Which I mean, most people are pretty aware of what they do, but they put together a
I
lot.
don't.
Well, they put
It's,
together.
it's the physical.
Yeah, they put
Yeah.
together a lot of literally limited run. In the game, they put together a limited run of games that are normally not physical or out of print, and bring them back. Basically, special order. Um, so a lot of their stuff is usually really rare. Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they're doing a special release for that.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay,
but I know
so
a
I
lot of
found
people
it.
don't like them.
Uh,
Mainly because
Damn.
their shipping, their shipping apparently takes forever. So people feel like, yo, I ordered this game forever ago and it's still not here. So I know,
Maybe with
yeah,
Embracer they're gonna be able to put them for the.
So they want the Amazon Prime
Yeah.
1 day shipping.
Okay,
They
so
they marked this for a reason. So
I I found them. So Embracer Group acquires Bitwave Games, Geotech, Limited Run Games, Middle Earth Enterprises, uh, Synctrix, Tat Fusion, and Tripwire Interactive, and Tuxedo Labs. So one of the studios that they pick up is a Japanese studio.
Yeah, that's their first acquisition of a Japanese studio.
So it is possible now to pick up a Japanese studio.
I think as long as they're not major,
Massive,
I think
yeah.
yeah, I think it's fine if you pick up smaller studios. I just don't think like the big ones like Capcom and Square Enix and Sega and stuff like that are easy to acquire from non-Japanese
What about
companies.
Platinum Games?
Hmm.
Mm, I mean, if they're in as much trouble as they've been, I could see it. But
I
if
mean,
Nintendo's
they
just gonna
picked.
keep footing the bill, then yeah, Nintendo's basically not gonna let anybody touch them. And if they're ever really bought, Nintendo's just gonna snatch it up.
Yeah, I agree with how Nintendo been supporting them and
Uh,
stuff
pro-
like that.
problem with Platinum is that they don't have any IPs you can buy because
Hmm.
everything is owned by whatever publisher they made a deal with.
Exactly.
Hmm.
We're gonna definitely talk about this whole publisher developer situation because I found out some crazy stuff today that I still can't believe. Um,
They
so
also
yeah,
picked up the Lord of the Rings
yeah,
IPs
that's what
and
I was gonna say.
yeah,
They picked up the Lord of the Ring. When it comes to video game, so
and
basically middle of start of war, and I'm pretty sure they're making a third one.
So they apparently they got the rights, right? But
yeah.
in order to get like the Nemesis system and stuff, it belongs to that specific developer. So they would have to make some sort of deal with them in order
Yeah,
to,
but Platinum, it's yeah.
yeah, to bring that over.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Okay,
they can now make games based on the IP, the intellectual property that is Lord of the Rings. But
but they
yeah,
can't use that.
yeah,
Okay, that's interesting. So with it, we also found out, and take it with a grain of salt, that they moved the development for KOTOR to a different studio now.
indeed.
As they
And
should.
yes, yeah, shout out to them for that.
I'm
Uh,
not thinking that with a grain of salt. I'm pretty much certain that's the case.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, fair, fair. I was gonna say take it with the grain of salt because someone that said that the game is still coming out this year. I don't believe so.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely
it's
No,
not.
not.
Nah.
This game is gonna be in development all over
Yeah,
again
you
from
switch
scratch.
studios, that's a whole thing within itself right
Yep,
there. Nah.
yep. So, um, the conversation became then, are they a monopoly? And shout out to Prince, he pointed out that they are not even bigger than EA right now. They might be almost on the same level of EA or for Ubisoft.
Hmm.
Yeah,
The
it's probably
Bradford
most
Group.
likely the amount of per amount of employees, um
They
because a
have
lot of this,
1,500, I think.
yeah, because a lot of the studios they have are like super small. Like
Hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they're clearly cultivating a lot of these smaller studios and devs to bring about better experiences and bigger experiences thus far. So I mean, they're obviously building up and getting to a point in order to tackle some larger things, and they do have some larger ones. But yeah, you're right. Like they're not as big. Like Ubisoft has like over 3,000 devs. Like so, yeah, that would be
So
correct.
I have a question, and this is anyone can answer it. Um, why doesn't PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, the entire gaming industry either come together, or each one of them start w- one on their own, create a fucking video game school
You
for
mean to
people to
foster
go
more talent?
to pick up more talent precisely, but also to home grow talent. Instead of the need to buy a studio, now you have developers learning the craft from, for example, Mark Cerny, Neil Druckmann, Cory Barlog, and
Dude, nah. But
well,
well, you can't expect. If you're a developer, see, you can expect them to spend their time teaching people how to develop. I
Yeah,
mean, that
I was gonna say they ain't got time for that.
that's where you start. I mean, not everybody can teach. But the
You
thing is,
can always
there,
find someone
I
that
think there is
retired
a,
and pick him up and
I
have
think
him
there-
teach.
I think there's a PlayStation um, school or some sort of educational track already. So I think they're already investing in that.
Yeah, I think they have like a program like to like fund people if they want to or something like that. Like I feel like I read that somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I did read about them supporting indies now even more. Which shout out to them. They're giving out free press, free dev kits.
PlayStation doesn't support indie, sir.
No, they doesn't. Um, it it's just for me. I'm not a fan where we're heading with, and I blame it all on Microsoft.
A fan of what?
Microsoft of this whole acquisition. We're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
they started the
end
domino effect.
we're gonna end with everything with few good companies owning everything almost.
It's gonna look a lot like the soda industry.
Mhm.
Like
Like what?
like two
It's
companies. The soda industry is a funny thing because there's like three companies. There's like that indie ass company like RC Cola and shit like that, and then there's PepsiCo and like Coca Cola. They literally make like every flavor in the machine.
mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be like all these subscription services, like how Netflix was the first one basically to start, and then all these publishing companies like NBC and all the rest of them was like, wait a minute, you can make money off of this, and they all took their TV shows and movies and put it on their own shit. So it's just basically now you have to have 85 different subscriptions if you want to watch something. So it's gonna be like that. Like everybody's just gonna take their own shit, and like all of the publishers are just gonna be acquiring all of these developers, and it's just gonna be like we're gonna have to own like every damn thing. It's gonna be crazy.
I'm not a fan of this whatsoever. It frustrates me to no end because at some point something bad gonna come out of this.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
it cannot be good to have almost one of three companies own everything from the industry for the most part.
Yeah.
Like we don't need to just do go to indies for independent games and stuff like that.
Well, what your concern is coming from is you understand the way the industry is built and the need for all these multiple entities, right? And not
Yep.
so much consolidation because well, you run into a number of issues with that, right? You run into a company's ideology bleeding into everything that they have, right? If you don't like the way Microsoft particularly does things, well, if they own half the industry, well, half the industry then becomes irrelevant to you, as opposed to if four or five of those developers remained independent or under different publishers or assisted by different publishers and weren't locked into Microsoft's ideology or their methods wouldn't affect them in that way. So you can
Precisely,
basically stifle creativity. you know
but that's not also strictly to Microsoft. That also goes to PlayStation and Nintendo in general. Like
well, yeah, you
no
don't
matter
want too
which
much consolidation, period. Yeah.
yeah, precisely. I don't want everyone to buy everything. You don't need to. You have
Yeah.
the money. Start your own shit.
It tends to, like Nate said, stifle a studio's creativity because now they have to fall in line with whatever, company they get absorbed into. So they may
Uh-huh.
not be able to, what the creative stuff they were able to do before when they were independent, or, they're less likely to be able to do that again and, give us these creative, out of the box type games that, are special.
I'm absolutely not a fan of that, and sorry guys for the rant, but it genuinely frustrates me to no end. I have a question about that. Do you think if we continue heading this way, we might see a crash?
I don't think you're going to see one right now or anytime soon. Mainly just because what's kind of happening is like a rebalance, right? So gradually, as some of these studios are getting acquired, you're seeing a like almost like a bleed off effect, right? Remember how we said you can acquire a studio, the company, but you can't acquire the people, right? Like the people can
Mm-hmm.
just leave. It's their job; they can quit it. Um, so what you're seeing is like a bleed off effect of some of these consolidations, and some of the vets that know they're full well capable and can secure the funding are going off on their own to create
Hmm.
new studios,
Their
right?
own studies. Yeah.
Yeah. So as much as the consolidation does suck, um, you're also seeing the birth of a bunch of new studios, um, which is kind of helping rebalance things, right? Also, on top of the things that are helping to do that is the affordability of some of the, despite people talking about it being more expensive, there's a lot of new tools that are not expensive that these teams can get a hold of, going in partnership with a company like Epic, and a lot of the tools that people use from those are very reasonable, no more than what you would pay monthly, um, for your Netflix or whatever, or a small fee per year for a dev to have access to these things, to be able to, imagine having access, to the Unreal Engine 5, just full blown, right? You've seen some of the things that it can do, some of the things it can help you create. Basically, taking one person and maximizing their capability to a level that prior wasn't possible, and now you don't have to design the engine, right? That's where all these good middleware quote unquote engines come from. So yeah, I think
Viper
that's the
asked a
big reason why.
question.
Yeah.
Viper asked a question. Do we know why the industry is consolidating?
I mean, largely it's because, well, I mean, obviously we know why Microsoft is buying who they're buying, right? They were weak. They're trying to shore up, either shore up their dev teams, or in the weak spots that they had, or do what Microsoft has always done, which is buy up the competition. They
Yeah,
basically
because they
left.
couldn't compete. They
Exactly.
admitted they couldn't compete.
Yeah, you bought the two companies on the market that make that specific type of Western RPG. The Skyrim slash Fallout, slash what was the open worlds or whatever. I can't remember the name of the one from.
Is it Wolfenstein?
Well, I mean they have that team, but I'm talking about that stuff. But again, they required two other studios that are capable, like Wolfenstein for FPS, so on and so forth. Right? These are massive strengths, right? Um, Also, that company was struggling financially, so that was one reason, right? So it's not just one reason, right? Their biggest problem was money, right? Bethesda, the publisher, it has a very set of talented developers, and their biggest problem was managing the money. So they sold, and Microsoft's biggest, boon is their money. So that's definitely one for them. The Activision thing is obviously a that's a power move, right? Let me like somebody said, even if they never took Call of Duty and Diablo and all these games in Overwatch off of PlayStation, the power move is partially a threat of, I own this, and
Hmm.
eventually I will be able to do what I want with it, right? Maybe
Hmm.
maybe not right now, but long game is what a lot of these companies do, right? So a lot of that is about that. It's a power move. Think about how crazy Call of Duty is. If Call of Duty is never replaced for the position that it's in the time frame that PlayStation is sure to have that deal, or at least the time frame that Activision can create something else, uh, they're kind of holding the cards, right? That's what that's about. Um, then of course, another thing, money. Money is a lot of this, right? Don't get me wrong. Like THQ Nordic or whatever had acquired a bunch of studios. Then you had the bigger company, Embracer Group, like basically swallow them. So they're like, look, it's backup for backup, right? You got a team of people backing them up, so on and so forth, right? I'm gonna ensure you that we're bigger than even your previous people were. We're gonna make sure you don't run out of the money, and foster the talent properly. So you're gonna just you're seeing a lot of it, like I said, in order to make sure some of these studios don't die. Sadly, but also not necessarily, right? Some of them are doing better because of it. They're being introduced to tools to help them increase their pipeline range, and stuff like that. So you're getting people consolidating for just better access. Better production lines, so they can get these games out faster, have more assistance, so on and so forth. And then, of course, in PlayStation's thing, of course, they're also largely shoring up their weaknesses, right? You see who they're acquiring. They're acquiring a bunch of studios that don't do what they do, that do what, they haven't done for maybe a long time. They specialize in FPSs, they specialize in, games as a service. They specialize in a bunch of things that they weren't. So they're also shoring up their team. They still got some spots they need to do it in, but that's a lot of the reason you're seeing that come from each of these studios, right? And that's why you don't really see. That's why you saw the opposite from Square Enix, right? Square Enix sold the Western Division in order to focus and concentrate on what they know they're good at, which is their JRPGs. And now we're seeing a much better version, much more nimble version currently of Square, without having to worry about all that overhead of, hey, is Tomb Raider gonna sell 17 million? So yeah, it's complicated because each of them is for a different reason. Um, but like I said, it's not all consolidation, because what I'm saying, we were saying that there's the birth of so many new studios and so many more available tools to these people to be able to do
Yeah,
some
we have
amazing
seen
things.
developers leave and start their own studios,
Yeah, and
left
stuff
and
pops
right.
off. Like the matter of fact, CD Project Red, they're still boosting up for their next Witcher or whatever and going crazy and working on whatever they're finishing up for Cyberpunk. But a bunch of them broke off and made a new RPG studio. Like, you know what I
Oh,
mean? And we're talking about vets, not like, you know, someone who's just new to this, right? People who are full well capable and know exactly what they need to get a game out the door. So,
okay.
yeah.
Um, Viper asked a question. So if Microsoft never started acquiring, nobody else would?
No, PlayStation
Um,
PlayStation definitely would
I
have.
don't believe so because I, I think people realize now that makes so much money, they want to be part of it. So companies like Embracer Group, companies like Tencent, they were gonna acquire whether Microsoft was doing so or not. That's my belief now. What do you mean? What do you think of that?
No, I mean I do. Also, Seattle, you're right, right? A lot of the versions of what you're seeing, at least specifically in Microsoft case, especially, is leverage. Like we said, like a lot of people, like I was saying earlier, the threat of me owning this IP now, me having the quote unquote power in my hand, especially if you don't know what they can do with it, right? Just the threat of losing an IP like Call of Duty or something, at least in its current form, would be detrimental to a platform. So yeah,
Hmm.
leverage is super important, which is, like you said, why you see now. Yeah, the reaction is stronger, I believe, because of everyone seeing the way Microsoft is moving. Um, but yeah, I still think acquisitions would have happened. Maybe not at the speed that they are, maybe not the amount that they are, but they definitely would have started moving, because PlayStation has always done it, right? They've always brought in new teams, they've always cultivated new teams, and kind of shored up their talent for the next generation. But now it's almost like the Cold War. It's an arms race. How many weapons can I arm myself with to ensure that anything that comes my way, my team is ready for it. So I think that's kind of what you're seeing here now.
Gotcha. Anyone have anything else to say to this entire conversation?
Yep.
Going once, going twice, going thrice. Let Once again, let's take notice in how well all these indie studios been doing. Like, yeah, yeah, we have seen a massive insurgence in indies, but we have also seen indies take it to the next level. Like for example, House Marquee was always an indie developer, and look what they made, Returnal. Kana, indie developer, they made Ember Lab, indie developer, they made Kana. So we are definitely seeing the rise of indies.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I love the acceptance from a lot of this stuff, right? I love the fact that they're not just doing what indies have always done, which is just the like really far out there stuff or the roguelikes only. Like
oh no,
you're seeing indie
we,
studios do JRPGs that are not
yeah,
JRPG styled games that are not from Japan. Like people are getting out of that and realizing like, hey, you don't need to be from Japan to do a JRPG styled game, you know. You're gonna
oh,
see games like Sea of Stars coming out early next year. You know, right now we have the Rise of Power, I believe it was called, or Rise to Power, something like that. You know, there's so much dope stuff coming out of
yeah, there's
the
also
indie
a game
space.
called The Outer Bound or something like that, which follows the gameplay of Paper Mario, and you're gonna be able to play it on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Nintendo. I'm not sure if it's on Xbox, I forgot.
Yeah,
So a lot of fresh gameplay. I'm excited for what indie bringing to the table.
agreed.
But
Oh, no,
yeah,
it's Rise of the Third Power is what I meant. That's what I was talking about.
mm, oh yeah, that game I need to play it.
Yep.
Um, so yeah. Anyone have anything else to add when it comes to Embracer Group buying studio, buying all the studios and stuff like that?
Mhm.
No one?
Nope.
Okay. And just what do you think? That's enough bomb already. Um, Microsoft hit you with the 1-2 punches. How do I begin with this? So basically, 505 is porting Death Stranding to PC Game Pass.
What doesn't even really require any porting. I mean, it's already on PC.
Well, okay. Well,
Yeah.
it's going to PC Game Pass. Let's simplify it.
Yep.
I mean, it might
And
require some porting because Steam and Epic have the director's cut, and PC Game Pass doesn't. So
oh,
Hmm.
that's interesting.
I
Cause
did
yeah,
hear
you're
that.
getting the main game.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
the PS4 version. So
That's the crazy part.
yeah,
Yeah. So this let you know that this deal was early.
It sounds like it.
Because if you're getting the because apparently, and this news is additional information, they went behind PlayStation back to do this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Says who though?
I don't know about
Said
that.
505. 505 said that PlayStation had nothing to do with
I
this.
mean, they might
Yeah.
not have nothing to do with it, but that doesn't mean they went behind their back like we're gonna secretly just port this over to PC Game Pass. I don't think that's what happened.
I think with this and what's called with MLB, they were blindsided. That's why they started their own thing. And that's why we're hearing about a PlayStation rumored launcher. I truly believe PlayStation got blindsided so many times that they're like, yeah, fuck it, we're not gonna develop it, we're gonna publish our own stuff and have Nexus develop it, make it. Cause
Mm.
that's a power move to get Death Stranding, dude.
Yeah, but
And it's
Yeah.
but it's really not though, because
Yeah,
it's
it really
we're
ain't
PC.
not
though.
gonna downplay Death
If it was
Stranding, dude.
Xbox Game Pass, and I'm not. I think the game's a 10 out of 10. It's on my page. I'm not gonna retract that, right? But it's on PC already. That doesn't change. Literally, I can open up
Right.
my screen right
Okay,
now and
well,
show you that I can
It'd
launch
be
Death
different if
Stranding.
it was PlayStation exclusive and then the first time it came out on PC, it was PC Game Pass. Okay, cool. Power move right there. But it was
no,
on PC already, like
yeah,
all
but
fucking ready.
it's not on PC Game Pass, and it's also now it's gonna get achievements.
Yeah, but I mean
Okay.
that you still need to play it via PC. There's no XCloud, there's no there's no
No,
Xbox Game Pass, none of that. It's still
but
just PC.
but still, this is why I truly didn't believe it at first. But Phil Spencer said it. Xbox ecosystem is no longer Xbox. It's Game Pass.
Yeah, but that doesn't change what you need to play it. You see what I'm saying? If
It
you
absolutely.
can't play it tomorrow on Game Pass on your laptop versus me, right? Because you don't have the hardware. If you don't have the hardware to play it, which already in place, nothing changes about your way to play it except literally opening a different store and launching it. That's it.
One second, Viper Reap. So you think PlayStation is that incompetent? Because this is the second time they got blindsided.
So
You are assuming they got
MLB's not.
blindsided, Omar. Once again, you do not know that.
Yeah, MLB publicized long before the deal was over that the whole idea for the MLB to continue, they wanted it to be multi-platform.
Again, I understand the multiplat part, but hitting Game Pass, PlayStation could have at least said something about it. You know, PlayStation blocking deals and all that.
Yeah, but I mean the MLB is about money, period, bro. Like the MLB, look, the one thing you got to understand about American sports organizations, like the NFL and the MLB and any of these, the NBA, any of that, all about the bread, period. It's like
Um,
politics. It's all about the money.
so Sony is probably getting some royalty out of this deal, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean
Mhm.
they're the developer.
I mean, they own the IP, so
So apparently, if you sign off on allowing someone else to publish the game for you on a different platform, you lose
mhm.
every right to your own game. Apparently,
Well,
Be-
specifically on that platform, right? So
yeah,
they can do whatever they want with it within the bounds of PC. That's
Mhm.
not another platform. So they can't 505 can't just be like, "Yo,
Yeah,
so
we're gonna
my
make the Xbox port.
yeah, we're going to make the
Yeah,
Xbox port,
they can't do
just
that.
cuz." Yeah, they can't do that.
Yeah, and most likely Sony explicitly made sure that it's never gonna end up on Xbox itself.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And still interestingly, seeing it's not the director's cut, but the regular versions,
Hmm.
which could also
Like a
mean there's
schmegular version.
exactly, but it also mean there's difference in licensing agreement between the director's cut and the no the plebeian version of Death Stranding. But hey, I mean, good for well PC gamers who already could play the game if they want to, but I guess now they can pay a rental fee to play the game. But do what you do.
Now they can ignore it on another platform now. So
Exactly.
congratulations.
Yeah, I was going to
And
say
that
and the other reason it's not very big, Omar, is cuz realistically, anybody on PC who has wanted to play this game has played it,
Hmm.
and if they wanted to play it for free, they could have already.
the reason
Exactly.
why I say okay, here is why it's big because you have the official account of Xbox promoting this. You have someone like Aaron Greenberg promoting this.
Sure, they can promote it, but it's still not going to allow any one of them to play it on their Xbox.
But still, it's the optics that we're talking about.
And that's great. But the optics I see are, damn, look at all these Xbox players happy that they can't play this game.
Yep, because that was the first question.
I'm
That was the
talking
first
about
question someone asked me, right? They when I posted the misconception that was being spread because people are saying Xbox Game Pass is it's coming to Xbox Game Pass. No, it's not.
No, yeah,
It's
it's
no, it's
specifically
PC.
not. It's
coming
PC Game
to
Pass.
PC Game Pass. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like that can't be misconstrued, right? Especially not from the official accounts, right? So I mean, the reality is nothing has really changed about the game's accessibility except it gained one more avenue or button press. Like that's it. And not only did they do that, it's the worst. It's the version without all the bells and whistles. Like
It
Hmm.
doesn't. It doesn't matter what it
The
is.
way
Again, Don't you guys think that PlayStation is beating itself up for this one?
Absolutely not.
No. Why would they?
It's already on PC. Like there's nothing changing.
Like nothing
Like
changed. It's literally
if
where
something
it's
changed,
always been.
yeah, if something changed, like I'd feel you, right? Like essentially what you're telling me, right, is like there's a Chick-fil-A 20 miles away, right? Yo, now there's a Chick-fil-A 10 miles away. I get to save gas. I'm still going to Chick-fil-A. like
Mm,
it's the same place. It's
This
just
is what I
closer.
see. This whole thing with this game coming to PC Game Pass. Honestly, for me, it just looks like Xbox is once again treating their PC um, customers as first class citizens and leaving their console owners like as second class. Because so far, I think there's been 22 PC games of it that have come new games that have come to PC Game Pass, and only 11 new games on Xbox Game Pass. So I
oh
mean,
yeah.
honestly, I shouldn't see any Xbox solely Xbox owners celebrating this. I would be pissed. Like once again, y'all treating our PC counterparts they're better. Like they get more games, they get more shit than we do, and we're paying for the console that
Also,
y'all made.
go ahead, finish your thoughts. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. It's just like I wouldn't be celebrating this. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, cool, but what's the next new game coming to Xbox though? Like,
Also,
where's my shit?
it remind me with something. All these people just subsidy fresh. All these people that are celebrating this. They are literally admitting that you don't need a Xbox to own to play their game.
Which is even more funny because they're
Mm-hmm.
I
primarily the
didn't
people that
think
play on
about it like
Xbox.
that. You didn't. You don't even need to own an Xbox to play your game.
I mean, that's been true
That,
for a long time. They don't even
yeah,
they hate
but,
that answer though, which is ironic. So they're promoting
but now
that answer
they're
now, but they don't
now
like
they're
that answer.
celebrating it
Yeah,
though.
it's hilarious.
Also, I thought you guys hate PlayStation games. What happened? Do you know that
Now
that
that now they're
GIF?
capping for it. It was a walking simulator,
Oh yeah.
a week ago.
Do you know that GIF where you need to press a button between two nuclear buttons? That's literally it. Either you
Mm-hmm.
hate X, either you hate that game, or you hate, or you gotta admit that Xbox the console is pointless to own now.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
But nonetheless,
and
it's a
they're
power
not
move.
even capping correctly because they're over here talking about, oh man, look, Xbox Game Pass got to win. We got y'all, we got this game. Y'all still got to pay $70, and I'm like, $70? What? Huh?
Hmm.
It's
Like
in the it's a service, and it's
it
also I
is in the
think
service, and like they're like I don't know if they just don't know or if they're just ignorant to it or what. I'm just like, we've had this game, I guess, since y'all want to say free in Game Pass, quote unquote. We've had it free in PlayStation Plus for like months now, so it's just like, what are you talking about? Like I don't get your point. Like, and we
yeah.
have the better
So
version, so it's just like, what? I don't
also,
get it.
if you own a PlayStation 5, it's literally on the PlayStation section. PlayStation selection, I think. I think it
Yeah, it's
is.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm waiting on Viper Reap to join. He's coming through. Uh, Again, I will not admit. I'm gonna just say it. It's a power move, no matter how you slice or dice it. Weep, what your thoughts about this one?
Well, I mean, again, it's well. Look, I get your point from the optics perspective that it gives Microsoft an opportunity to promote themselves using a PlayStation IP. I get that point, but uh, practically, indeed, nothing changes there. It doesn't suddenly change platforms. It's never going to get on the Xbox. And yeah, the zealots are just making a fool out of themselves because everybody's going to pull up their receipts at the time they called it a walking sim, a FedEx simulator. They were never going to play it, and all of a sudden they're going to play it even though they still can play it on their Xbox, and they could already play it on PC if they wanted to. But yeah, they
But they
only
even own a PlayStation, mind you.
yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous for bragging rights. But I do feel you again on the optics perspective. It it does feel weird seeing it on something owned by or something, because they do think advertise it as Xbox Game Pass purely because they want it sort of make it create perception that PC Game Pass somehow is also Xbox, right? I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
sure, it's their service. The money is going in their pockets, but they don't own PC. Obviously, it's not their platform. Never will be, and no matter how hard the zealots try to make it appear as such. Uh, but yeah, I mean it. Uh, I mean, again, I I agree with you. You know, from the optics perspective, but from purely the actual impact, I'd say it's rather negligible. And I'd say this is also a special case, right? Don't read too much into it. Don't think that this means, Sony's going to release more games somewhere on an Xbox
Oh,
platform.
that's exactly what they're doing.
Oh yeah, they saying Spider-Man next
Oh
because
yeah,
if you clearly no because what's called
Marvel.
no because one of the postcards for Death Stranding almost look like the picture of Spider-Man logo.
uh-huh.
One of
So
the what?
postcard of Death Stranding almost look like
Like in the game?
I will share it. I will share it. I will share it.
You
And
saying like in the game?
give me a second. I will share it.
Okay.
So it's not. I don't know. I think it's in the game. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Death Stranding does a lot of shout outs to a bunch of different games in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It does it with Horizon and there's a couple other games. So it's just like I wouldn't
Yeah,
read into that.
and Jeff Keighley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're gonna get Jeff Keighley exclusive
Yeah.
next.
I don't know. What will we do with
Oh,
that game?
oh no. It's this whole thing is just crazy. Like I don't like I saw it and literally had no emotional reaction whatsoever. It was indifference. I was just like, oh, okay.
Nah, we're not doing that.
What? We're not doing what?
We are
Telling the truth?
absolutely not doing that, Margaret.
Telling the truth? What? What are we not doing?
Lady,
Sir?
you know
What?
better than saying stuff
Sir,
like
don't.
no.
I saw that and I was just like, oh, okay.
Nah,
Like literally. I
lady,
was just like, oh, okay.
when it was leaked, nah, we're not doing that. I don't like to share the ends.
No, go ahead, share it. What I say?
No, I don't like to share it.
No. Omar, you just said it. Go ahead, share what I said. What did I say?
Okay. You said there truly believes that the
I
game
said
is hitting Game
LMAO.
Pass. Yeah, they truly believe it's hitting Game Pass, and it did.
Yes. Xbox Game Pass was what I was
Okay,
talking
Game
about.
Pass.
I said Xbox Game Pass, bro.
Okay, that part I didn't see. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So you tried it. It's okay.
But still, it is shocking. Come on, don't tell me
It's
that.
No,
not.
because it's not because it was already on PC. Like that's why I was indifferent about it. I was like, it's just on another launcher now. Like it's not a big deal. Like I already knew this game it's not a first party PlayStation studio. It's a second party studio. So it's not a shocker. Like second party games go to different platforms all the time. So it wasn't a big deal to me. I was just like, okay. Like just like they were in like they were supposedly I guess like they were claiming that Alan Wake and shit coming into PlayStation wasn't a big deal. Kotar coming to PlayStation wasn't a big deal, but for some reason Death Stranding, coming to Xbox, I guess PC Game Pass or whatever, it is a big deal. It's crazy how that shit flips. Like they were like, yeah, whatever, those are old games, nobody cares. But then when that walking simulator they were disrespected like a week ago, is supposedly, with the leaks coming to PC Game Pass, then oh my god, that's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. I was just like, all right, bet.
Yeah, that shit's cap.
Mm.
Oh man, they were like, yeah, Alan Wake, that's not a big deal. It's whatever. KOTOR, I mean, that's old. Who cares?
Oh, they was crying. They was crying all over my timeline about KOTOR, so I don't even want to hear it from them.
Oh shit.
Okay. Hmm. Death Stranding, people hate on it because it's different. But
Yeah, I mean,
here's
I
the
like Death
issue.
Stranding.
I wouldn't even say because
I
it's
love
different.
Death
Half of these
Stranding.
motherfuckers don't even know what it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Because
they couldn't tell you what it is. It's a
Yeah,
FedEx simulator though.
This is a game I bought day one,
absolutely.
and I I was excited for it, but I was not a Kojima guy to begin with.
Oh god.
I didn't even know who Kojima was.
Oh
I
god.
had
Okay.
I
Bye,
knew
Omar.
it's famous, but I'm like, okay, who are you? What are
Bye,
you?
Omar.
What are you doing?
Who
Right,
are you? Oh my god.
lady. I never
Omar.
played a Metal Gear. I had no idea who he is.
Mm.
No Silent Hill, no nothing. Just oh my. Okay. You know what?
I forgot he made Silent Hill. I played first Silent Hill a little bit, but I forgot he made Silent Hill. Real talk.
He didn't make
Because
Silent Hill. He made PT.
Yeah.
oh yeah, he made under what called that.
John
Uh,
Landers.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made a lot. Man, he made some classic games. I tell you, bro. Man, him
Yeah,
and
you
his team.
missed out, Omar.
I'm just really hurt, Omar. It's okay though.
Hey, there you go. They are here. Hello. Oh, thank you, Morgan.
Yeah.
I knew it was you without even feeling the need to read who said it.
Oh man.
But yeah, finally, the man, the legend, Piper Reeve, what's up, and what's your thoughts on this whole conversation?
I don't know about legend, but uh, um, so this is how I picture this thing that went down with the Death Stranding publishing. Um, they drew up a contract with some loose wording for a PC port, and then Microsoft came along with a bag. 505 looked at the contract real close, then went to PS and said, "With this wording, can we do what we want, right?" And then PS goes, "No, it says specifically no Xbox." 505 goes bet and threw that bitch on PC.
This is why I say PlayStation got blindsided.
But at least I think PlayStation still knew, but they couldn't do anything because the wording wasn't
I don't
up
think
to
it.
speed
I
like
agree.
the newer the director's cut.
PlayStation definitely knew what was happening before it happened. Like, don't let that shit fool you. Like, they knew.
And I bet you PlayStation sucked their teeth. They was like,
It's their
again.
IP. They know what's going on with it. Like come on.
I bet they're not happy with it. They just can't do anything about it.
Possible.
Yeah, I truly believe that what's called they were powerless with this one. Anyone have anything else to add to the conversation?
Nope.
Okay, then I'm gonna move to the next one, which Innate wanna talk about it. So go ahead, Innate. Do you think? As to Innate.
His thing is silence.
So you decided to literally be silent when it's your time to talk.
It's
So-
a protest. It's
Great.
protest.
Just shameful.
We're gonna talk about Innate's thing, okay?
Innate wanna talk about the difference between turn-based and
Turn-based, yeah, and
Guess we'll
action.
have to save that. Guess next topic. We'll
Are
save
you
that for the next
buying?
one, I guess.
I don't think we have a next one. Hey, Innate, you're back?
What's up?
Hey, it's your time to talk about the topic.
This man just took a whole break. Okay.
I thought I already spoke. I already spoke about that Death Stranding.
No, about the topic that you wanted to discuss, the turn-based thing.
Oh, yeah. So, no. So we had an interesting space the other day, and the topic came up
I
of
need now. We're not doing interesting. I need detail.
I
Who
got
it
you.
Oh
was, how
man,
many people, what
How
the
many
conversation is
people?
about. Come on.
Okay, I
damn, you
can't tell
want
you how
Yeah.
many people. There were a lot of
specific shit.
people. So, because there was like 9 or 10 people. Um, but Chris specifically stated that he believes that action-based combat gives the artist or development team more freedom when it comes to basically artistic expression. Um, Specifically,
I
obviously,
disagree with that.
yeah, I mean, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. But that's the question, right? I want to know: does anyone in here actually believe that specifically action-based combat somehow gives inherent uh, freedom or better freedom for artistic expression than turn-based combat?
Mm-mm.
No.
Nope.
Nah, you can do it. There's a lot
Nope.
more possibilities with turn-based so far that I've learned.
Yeah, and this
Dumbest
is
thing
and
I've
this is
ever.
newer. Go ahead, Weave.
That's it. I think it's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I mean, what does it even mean?
I mean,
How does how you control a character give you more artistic freedom? Jesus Christ! I mean, that's the most pretentious shit I've ever heard.
I will say this.
mm-hmm,
Um, I have a lot of friends that play sports and COD,
mm-hmm.
and that's all they play. They look at RPGs and they go, "Ooh, look at these nerds," and then they don't bother. I believe a lot of the action RPGs are geared towards people that want constant action, like the people who play COD and and of the sort. So and because a lot of my friends now who were only COD and sports players are now playing, RPGs like Horizon and stuff like
They
that,
started to
and
expand the
JRPGs as well,
horizons. Yeah.
and Tales of Arise as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's what I think the action is trying to pull in new people that would normally say no to JRPGs or
Oh
RPGs in
yeah,
general.
I definitely agree with that.
So
I just
yeah,
don't agree
yeah, I
with
agree with that.
that point that Chris made.
Yeah, more artistic. It gives a better or more artistic freedom.
Shout out to Chris though. I know I know the reason he said that is because he has a bias towards action based RPGs. Like he prefers them over turn based. So of course he said that. But I get it. You like what you like. So
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's not a shot at it. I was just curious if anybody else actually felt that way. I was like, I can't think of anything, any skill in a game that I've ever seen, any movement, right, where I thought, hey, like, I want to execute this skill and I want this to happen, and it matters whether or not it's in turn base or in real time. Now, obviously, that's going to change slightly because, in real time, most likely you're working with positioning and stuff like that as opposed to, potential static movement, which also is not a thing, right? Like, you don't have to have static movement in turn based either. That's another misconception. Like, there's so many misconceptions about turn based combat that I think people um people get almost confused. They're when they go to talk about it, and their immediate thought process is like, oh, turn-based combat, and they think of Dragon Quest 11. And they're like, yeah, that's it, that's turn-based combat, that is the limitation of turn-based combat, that is it, full stop. And it's like,
Did no one play Mario, Paper Mario?
Paper Mario didn't come up, but yeah, I mean, that
Like
there's
even
so many different
Valkyrie
ones.
Pro, Valkyrie
We did bring up
Profile,
other,
not
so that came up. So Valkyrie profile came up because he was talking about how he's excited for Elysium, but how he is also excited to play the original, um which is turn based, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So like that, and a matter of fact, we had an example of this in the chat, right? That thing I posted not too long ago that showed the skill being executed in turn based, and then they showed the same skill being executed in the new game, which is action based. And the more detailed, the more action based looking skill with more inflections on it, and more it actually had more to the skill, was in the turn based version of the skill.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
I've seen it.
the action based one was actually toned down, and I was like, now, I mean, I'm not going to say that specifically the limitation of the action based combat, but I'm like, clearly that's the result, whether whatever the reason, right? Um, and this is one of the things that personally that I've noticed, right? Um, with turn based combat, you tend to get these more extreme out there looking skills and stuff like that. And to some people's credit, you know what I'm saying? Like I get it. Like, they haven't seen this stuff, right?
Oh
Like, we
yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm looking at you.
yeah,
You
exactly. Like,
you got a few skills and you call it a
yeah,
day.
you get a
The,
few of the
the
skills.
you can mix things with what's called with mantra, not mantra. With
The
what's called
materia
the ball.
and all
A
that.
material,
Yeah.
thank you. With
Hmm.
the material is literally basically the gameplay for Final Fantasy VII Remake in
Exactly.
general.
That's how they expand it, right?
Yep.
Um
Without the material, you are so fucking limited to what almost four move,
I will
four
say
skill.
the materia system in remake is a lot. It's a lot more depend. They got to depend on it a lot more than the original.
oh yeah, way more.
Oh yeah, way more. Especially if you're doing hard mode.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Which I
Then
haven't
it,
gotten yet. So
then that's a totally different ball game. But yeah, continue, Nate.
But yeah, like I said, I don't think any, and we got into this conversation because Final Fantasy was in there. I don't
Six,
remember his name. It's Final Fantasy
16?
something. No, the Final
Oh,
Fantasy
Drew?
guy. The guy, is that his name, Drew or whatever?
Yeah, Drew,
Okay,
Drew,
yeah,
Drew.
yeah, he was in there. So we had a discussion, right? And I was like, so I wanted to get something straight because he said, like he came across, when Mass Effect came out, and he's like, the other side of people were like, this is how an RPG is supposed to be, kid. Like, pay attention. And I'm like, it's ironic for me to hear that, right? Because I'm a fan of both, right? Mass Effect is
Hmm.
one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Period. You know what I'm saying? I love the story. I love the way it's told. I
Of
love,
all time. Okay.
yeah, one of my favorite games of all time. Period. Like, the story in
I,
that
I,
game is amazing.
Period.
I
Okay.
just I just played that about 7 months ago. That is an awesome story.
Hmm.
I need to
I,
try
w-
because
I was un
on my
I,
Eric, I mean Viper, my
go
bad.
ahead,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you good,
No,
you
no, no,
good.
no, my bad.
Yeah, I was okay. I was one of the ones who didn't want to play it. Well,
Hmm.
when it was Xbox only. But once it came we got the trilogy. I was like, all right, let me try this out. I played the first one. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Got into
first
the
one
second
was
one.
horrible. Um, was
I
really
wouldn't say
bad.
I wouldn't
Cause
say horrible. The acting was a little bland, yes, but
it's not the action. It's when you're going to the same different planets and you're doing the exact same thing. I'm like, I got bored at some point with that.
I mean,
And I,
so there's a method to it, right? And I explained this because Morgan started it, right? The first one is the
Yeah,
hardest
I got
one to
bored
get.
too. I was
It
like,
was
I
one
don't,
of the
I
hardest
can't.
ones to get through, but it took me, like, it's gonna take me half the time, right? I've beaten the first one 23 plus times, right? Like,
Jesus,
I
oh,
actually counted. That's how much I
oh
played
my
it
god,
when I was on
yikes.
PC. I loved that story, right?
I'm gonna need some
Um,
of that enthusiasm though,
I got you. I got you.
because I can't.
But part of it is guided, right? A lot of the stuff that's tedious is not tedious because I know exactly where to go, right? I need these three things, and then I can go to the next planet. So I'm not gonna spend too much time looking
so
for
you're
certain
not
things.
running the entire base trying to find where you need to go and
Exactly.
which quest to miss and not to miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why I said it's tedious because there is absolutely no idea who you need to talk to in order
Yeah,
to
I was
what's called
confused. That's why I stopped. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was like, what am I supposed to do right
precisely
here? Who am I
like
supposed to be talking to?
Yeah.
Like, I
yeah,
don't know.
Once you're
and
past
especially with
one though, that's gone, right? That's gone
Oh, okay,
entirely.
they fixed it into.
Yeah, that's gone entirely. There, you will never be lost again.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, one was a lot more freedom, and certain people really like that, but it suffered from some of the problems that almost like an open-ended feel to an RPG can have, right? You can spend too much time getting lost in tedious shit, and then you're like, I want to move to the next thing. You know what I'm
I
saying?
wanna
And you might
fight.
not know where it is.
I wanna
Well,
have a
exactly.
combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you may need some help with that, right? And that's fair, right? That's a fair criticism. But I know both of you specifically love a great story, right? And that is there.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And the combat improves night and day later on, right? But it's serviceable in one, especially in the legendary edition, right? You can manage. You know what I'm saying? You go through the motions, get the you know what I mean, get the new upgrades to the weaponry. But this is again other stuff that you knew. Like I've beaten it so much that even though I hadn't played it in about 2 years, when the legendary edition came out, I still remembered the names of the armor sets in the game. But all that again is
Damn.
gone in part two. It's very streamlined, but not in a negative way, right? It's still very much focused, full stop, on the story and where everything is going. And
Mm-hmm.
primarily, it's a story that focuses on characters, which is rare, right? Nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it focuses a lot on the overarching story, and you get some character development, but this is all
Mm-hmm.
character driven, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is about how you care about these people. Like when I was done with this shit, like I was like, I refuse to do the last mission and not come out with my whole team because
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
everybody meant something to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't leave this person. Rex is
Oh,
my man. He's
Oh yeah, Rex
not.
is beloved. That
Yeah,
I know.
he's
Rex
gonna
is
knock down.
beloved.
He's gonna knock down the door. He's gonna bust some heads. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna have my man back here, Garrus, calibrating a gun somewhere. And he's gonna snipe some shit. And Tali's the tech. And you have your scientists. You had all these
yeah.
people who
Morden
play
was
these
my
roles.
guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Morden was my guy.
More than Solus. And again, it's funny because he starts off how cold to the character, right?
Mm.
Like cold and calculated, but you realize later he's actually really warm and really caring. Like you actually see like the emerging traits of all these characters, and they grow on you, right? And you're looking for them as you go through the games and each of the trilogies, right? Each part of the trilogy. So yeah, like there are things like that um, that definitely come from a westernized influence, right? So that's why I was like, when people say like it has to be done this way or that way, that's something that I had to set straight in that space because I was like, I'm a gamer of both sides, right? And I was like, I think a lot of people are, and I think a lot of people just get caught up on a preference, right? Yeah, my preference is turn based. Yeah, my preference is JRPGs primarily, right? But there are a ton of Western style RPGs that I've put just as much, if not more, time into than a lot of these people who are fans of them, right? Like I own like 6 copies of fucking Skyrim, dude. Like, it's not a game over here. Like, and same thing with Fallout 3, 4, and New Vegas, so on and so forth, right? So there are things to accept on both of these things, but to say that one or the other would be limiting, I think in that specific form of expression, I believe is wrong. And if I was to say one would limit you more than the other, it would be the active combat because there's only a limited number of buttons on what I'm saying, on as far as like if you're pertaining to a combo system, you're going to run into stuff like that. Like as much as I really loved, um, what was it? You just said it a minute ago. The one
Tales of
that's
Arise.
Tales of Arise, right? One of the
Yeah.
biggest things I hated is that essentially I was limited, even though I can swap them out. I was limited to 6 skills per character, right? So, but there's more skills that they have. But guess who's not limited, right? The NPC. So the NPC can execute any of the skills. So when the computer is playing any of the other characters, they can execute all of the skills. But because of the
And make
limitation on the controller, you cannot. What were you saying, Viper?
and they make it look pretty too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, they execute it flawlessly. So that to me is a limitation, which is one of the things that I express specifically when speaking with Chris. Like I don't like that limitation. Do I feel obviously there's ways around that? To a degree, you could design something with like the pause system, right? where you can, the command menu, where you can go into a command and that would execute the skill instead. But if you're basing everything on a combo system, a lot of them don't like to do that, right? Devil May Cry doesn't do that. They don't like to have a command menu for stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. If you're going full action, that kind of stuff to me is partially worrying, mainly because of the limitation. Because in a lot of the turn-based JRPGs that I'm a fan of, you don't have that limitation. And one of the biggest things that people believe is a limitation in turn-based um, JRPGs actually is not. They think you have to sit there and wait, or you have no active role in the combat, right? You don't. A lot of them have active role ATB type systems. A lot of them have actual skills that you have to input the actual skill in order to execute it. There's a lot of active things you can do in a turn based system that, guilty enough, a lot of people have just never seen because a lot of those really amazing things are locked back during the PlayStation 1 era or PlayStation 2 era where they got really creative with them, and a lot of people are only seeing the very basic versions of turn based nowadays. And now, to that credit, some of them are very stylized, like Persona, and it's great. It works really well for an introduction, and then also expands further and gives emerging mechanics as you go along. So they've found their niche, their way to do it, right? And a lot of people love it. And I love it because having a conversation with Kendra, who was there, um, about specifically Morgan and Stone playing these games for the first time. And Stone even came up and talked about it to her about how much she loved it and how she couldn't put it down, right? These are two people who have never played these games before, right? And they both fell in love with it. And, you have Kendra, who is also coming into this really for the first time, and just foaming at the mouth, looking forward to this while also playing Final Fantasy VII Remake for the first time, right? So I just think the biggest key that I'm pointing out here is that there's not some sort of one right way to do it, right? Um, and that everybody who is for turn based isn't against action, right? We just don't. The one thing that came up during that conversation is you don't want to go so far that your genre that you were in, you start to look like another game, right? Like you don't want to play you don't want to play Zelda and it starts to look like Soul Calibur, right? That would be weird. Like it doesn't it no it's going out of its genre so much that it's no longer that thing that it was meant to be. So yeah, we had a lot of discussions surrounding all of that and whatnot, and I think the big thing when we came away from it is just understanding that there's plenty of room for both, right? Rather than this the current zeitgeist or whatever, the current notions going around after the whole statement from Yoshi P is that hey, we go action to make money. And it's like no, because that's also false, because despite some of the action ARPGs selling pretty well, there's also that a truck ton of failed projects, right? That have been terrible, that have sold like trash. So that's also not a solution, right? The solution is to make a good game, and high budget AAA level experiences, whether it's turn based or not, can increase, what I'm saying, your visibility with these titles, and that gaming is now bigger than ever. So, yeah, it was a fun topic and stuff like that. But I'm glad to see I'm not the only one that thought that was a weird statement. The initial statement.
I don't know. It's just someone who's kind of new-ish to turn-based combat. I liked it a lot. Definitely different. Especially, at first, I was definitely clumsy with it, wasn't very good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But now that, I played the game for a while, like, I start getting real strategic with the moves that I make. And, being able to, pick a certain move based on like your enemy's weakness or whatever. And then, looking at, your strategy and be like, okay, Morgana's next. So I can use her, like, the grass ability afterwards to finish this enemy off, or I could do this and that, and like being able to just strategize of how I'm gonna beat this enemy. I mean, I don't know. I really enjoy it. So I like turn based. So
But see, I love that, right? And I got to watch you do that live, right? That was extremely fun for me, right? To see you tackle something, get beat, and then realize, you know, three or executing three or four different skills differently, and having a completely different outcome, slightly changing your strategy, right? That was
mhm.
that was great. You know what I'm saying? I love to see that because that's what I love about it. Is watching that strategy unfold, that perfect plan, just kind of happen, and you're like, yeah, I got your ass. You know what I mean? And
Oh, yeah, it's
it's
extremely satisfying when like the plan goes well. You're like, oh yeah,
that's it. That went exactly like I knew. Yeah, and it's not
yeah,
about it's not about your reflexes. You know what I mean? And how fast you can press O to dodge. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
like
Or
I have
one
almost like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah,
mhm,
or one wrong move could send your whole strategy out the window.
exactly. Oh
exactly.
shit, like
Interesting.
or
So
like
I'm a.
switching it up. Oh my bad. Go ahead, Omar.
No, go ahead. I have to go after you. No problem.
Oh, okay. Or switching it up and being like, okay, I can't do a move right now. I gotta, whip out like one of these potions and like
Yeah.
put my defense up or my attack up or hit them with like, some sleep potion or something. Like, I don't know. I just like that shit.
Yeah, it allows you to shore up your defenses or keep in mind who's weak to this. This boss does wind attack, so I need to
Mm-hmm.
heal this person. I need to heal this person, or I need to add a defensive spell to this
Mm-hmm.
person. But they also need a potion, so I need to use the potion on the character and then
Yep.
use the next character in order to buff their defense. So like stuff like
Yeah, I
yeah.
would like increase the defense or the attack for like the character that had the the move that was weak for a certain enemy. Like, all right, this enemy's like weak to like electric or white or whatever. Let me increase the attack on my electric character real quick so I
Mm-hmm.
can finish this guy off, and then increase the defense on my others because they're not gonna be as strong. So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So the more I'm listening, the more I'm like, I am more of a fan of. I love turn based,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes to actually beating, I prefer more action oriented for one simple reason. Because I can break the game better. When it's
Mm,
turn based related, you can
mm-mm.
you can't really break that game because most of the time
I
you
mean,
can dodge. You
I
can
could definitely
try to
break it,
use
but I know what you're trying to say.
but for example, I broke Final Fantasy 15. I broke what's called Nino Kuni
You're
2.
talking about your ability to play against something outside of your level based on
Precisely.
the movement.
Like for
I don't
example,
know.
Final Fantasy
I'd
Final Fantasy
be
12. I beat the fucking turret adamantium. I beat them when I was low level, just so I can get
I mean,
additional stuff.
I beat bosses at lower than the level like that was suggested. I kept trying to beat this one boss. Shit,
You're
the
talking,
pyramid boss.
yeah, you're talking about
Yeah,
her
but
Um,
still
mother.
you're still
yeah,
limited.
and
You
yeah,
can
but like
dodge.
they said I should be at this level and I wasn't. Like I think I was 10 below.
You were considerably lower,
And like
yeah.
yeah, I was really low and they were like I was like maybe that's why I keep getting beat, but I changed up my strategy, increased the defense for a lot of my characters, switched up what I was doing and I was able to beat him the character anyway, regardless of the fact that I was low level. I get it's kind of easier to do it when it's action based, but being
Most of the
the
time, turn based, you're limited. You're relying on luck for enemies to miss you.
Well, that's can
You're
also
that
that I
or
wouldn't say luck because you can also increase your evasion, or you can
yeah, I was about to say
also
Yeah.
I can increase my attack and my defense. So it wasn't necessarily luck. I came equipped with the right stuff and right
Mhm.
potions and use the right moves at the right time. So it's just um but I get what you're saying though.
yeah,
I
like
get what you're
Like
saying, but
Omar's saying
I still think it's possible.
yeah, it's possible. Omar's saying shit like motherfuckers running around in like Souls like games butt naked with
Yeah,
like the
Elden
initial
Ring.
sword and then beating the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah, you can do that. But
Yeah.
like the realistic notion is that 99.9% of people who are playing the game are not going to run butt naked, with a sword in their
No.
hand through the game and dodge it. Yeah, you can do
Most
it,
people are gonna
but
build themselves up.
they're going to build themselves up and just go ape shit
Like
with
for
it.
example, I am level 28 or something like that, and I'm fighting a boss level 20 in Trials of Mana. Not because I want to, because I had to farm in order to get a certain skill. I need to have 5,000 money, dollar. Let's call it dollar, and I use that money for my equipment. So I truly wish in JRPG, and no matter what RPG I'm playing, there is a fucking ability to turn off XP and give me more money instead of XP. I really wish there was a possibility.
Oh,
Okay,
you
so
want the Tales series from old days, where after you run through one playthrough, you can adjust how much XP you get, how much gold you get.
I had no idea that it exists. I always play one straight through and call it a day. But something like that, because well, no, not even one playthrough. It's the same playthrough because it really irritates. Like I'm not like Innate. Innate put out a GIF where you see a big ass shark coming through, and he's like, "This is the motherfucker that did every single side quest in the game before starting
Hmm.
before fighting the boss fight." I'm I'm that person, but I don't love the leveling up. I wanna be under level. I wanna be for the most part challenging myself. I don't like running through bosses like they're nothing. I like a good challenge, especially when I'm going because I experienced that with myself. Like I played a game. It's a Metroidvania game, and the bosses goes from left to right. Let's say, and I had to find the perfect amount of damage, maximum damage output that I could do in a span of 10 to 15 seconds before, so I can destroy it completely before it disappears. Because if it disappears, it's gonna start to do different moves at me. So I love destroying the games like that. And with turn-based, for the most part, you're limited. For the most part, you're limited. But what turn-based does, it gives you sometimes unique ways to play games. Like for example,
so wait.
the
So to
two,
your
the
point though,
two.
remember that not all turn-based involves you standing still. That's something that I was saying earlier, remember? There are turn-based games in
Mm,
which you can still move, so
yeah,
you can
but
still
not all of
execute.
them.
Not all
You
of them.
can, you gonna get bit good, gonna be able to move aside when you get hit.
A lot,
Most of them you
but I
can get hit.
yeah.
Some RPGs they allow you where I forget which one it is. Actually, Mario RPG
Elevate.
does this for the Super Nintendo, where if an enemy is about to hit you, right before they hit you, you can press a button and have them either miss or parry or block it.
Yeah, I truly wish all the RPGs have that. Because now you have your destiny in your hand, your destiny in your hand. Like
Oh shit!
even if yeah,
I'm sorry. There was a game that I just played that has that. Chris Tales. Chris
rune.
Tales allow.
Oh,
Chris
I
Tales.
love
Yeah.
Crystal. I love Crystal, but some bosses were janky. I
Yeah.
think they were buggy. I'm talking about the two ladies when
Oh,
you
they
fight
were. Yeah.
at the volcano. They were their move was janky, but for the most part, I love Crystal, and Crystal is the definition of something unique and new and fresh,
But
because it
yeah.
allows you the ability to go through time mid combat and get different game mechanic out of it.
Hmm.
So JRPG doesn't always need to be limited.
Exactly.
You
So that's
can
the
do
part where I
so
was
much
saying
with it.
you don't want to say that it's turn based that's limited. You want to say certain games are, but that is
Yep,
not a limitation of
yep,
being turn based. There you go.
yep. That's basically what it is. Anyone want to say anything about that? We, Morgan, Rek.
Hey, Morgan. Did you mess around with your on Persona 5? Have you messed around with the character's traits, like what their job's supposed to be? Like, and they, you know what I'm talking about. You know how to control them, but they have a certain job you could tell them what to do, like
Are
healing,
you talking about
something
you
like
talking about the tactics?
Tactics. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you may, but that's like for like more like if you want to like speed up auto, like if you were grinding and you want to speed up like
hmm
auto battle, because like otherwise you would command all of them what to do. But yeah, I don't think she's really done that because she plays all the battles so far. Yeah,
because that's my tactic is like
but you do have
I
to
like
do what you're talking about in Tales of Arise, because you
right
can only control one character at a time,
right
or
and
they'll do shit like blow a shit ton of mana, or you know your healer will blow a shit ton of CP, and yeah, it gets
Or
messy.
you Pelicans, motherfuckers.
yeah. I was just wondering how her tactics are. I'm just
Yeah,
seeing
she's just going full control right now.
Yeah,
She's just
yeah.
enjoying that.
I initially like let them do their own thing, but then I was like, you know what, y'all not doing what I need y'all to do, so let me take it slow.
Hmm.
Yeah.
okay.
Sometimes they make great decisions, but other times they just like they do stupid shit and like, nah, let me take the captain chair real quick.
Hmm.
Hello, Cyber Dragon. What's up, dude? Long time no see.
What's up, Cyber?
Also, Ghost didn't show up, so I couldn't ask him about the Switch. So I'm waiting on Ghost to come back.
He's
I
ghosting
think
you.
he's still busy. So we see when he come back when he pop up.
Yep. But yeah, I think we're
Mm,
solid. Was that the last topic?
yeah, I think that was it.
Damn, I
Uh,
some more shit happened this week.
but
Oh,
I'm waiting on you, Morgan and Weeb, if you guys want to
Hmm.
talk about it, and Rek,
About what?
um,
about this whole conversation,
I,
JRPG versus action
I already
RPG.
commented.
She did comment. Well, it was
Commented a
more. It
lot.
was more of a fluid conversation.
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
more like
yeah,
a little
Oh,
bit commenting.
yeah. I like turn based. I'm looking forward to experiencing more turn based games.
now we're being shamed for not talking enough, Morgan.
Oh damn, not like that exactly. Calling us out. Every podcast is me,
So when
Weeb, and
I give
Kay.
you the ability to talk, all of a sudden you don't.
Oh, Mark said he can't win. Like I tell you, I skip y'all get mad. I tell you talk, y'all get mad.
I,
Sorry,
I got a
Omar. What's up, bud?
I got a question, and this is more for Nate. Would you consider? Because would you consider a strategy? Let me see. I want to figure out how to word this correctly. All right, I'm gonna use examples. So we got Chris Tales, which is turn based,
Mhm.
and then you got Disgaea, which is also turn based, but there's a lot more involved with Disgaea, where positioning. Because sometimes when you're attacking in Disgaea, you want it to be just out of the reach of the enemy for that first round, and then you go ahead and go ham. Would you consider both of those turn based, or one a strategy, more strategy than a turn based?
I mean, they're both turn
I
based. It's
think
just one is a SRPG. It's they're
yeah.
both JRPGs because of where obviously obvious reasons, but Disgaea is essentially and primarily in the subgenre of SRPG. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, it does require a little bit more, especially Disgaea, because Disgaea has a bunch of other nuances that come into play with the geo
Oh yeah,
guilds and stuff like that. You can get real complicated, and you can make some really nasty combos. And I mean, yeah, that's when you stop playing checkers and you start playing chess. Like,
chess. There you go.
yeah, yeah, that's a whole next ball game of strategy when you're like, I'm 17 moves ahead. Like I got something for your ass. Give me just a minute. Let me build it up.
Yeah, I was only asking because I felt as though this Gaia and what was another one? Is a Final Fantasy Crystal something? Um,
Crystal Chronicles.
I can't remember.
or
Maybe it was Crystal
or
Chronicles. I don't
Tactics.
know.
Yeah, it is Crystal
Tactics.
Chronicle
Final
because that
Final
game I
Fantasy
still need
Tactics.
to
Sorry.
play.
Okay.
Final Fantasy Tactics. I
Oh,
believe those are, to me, they feel different than a regular turn base.
They do, and they are. You know, like I said, the grid based strategy gives you an entirely different number one, an entirely different viewpoint of the battlefield, and you know you're planning usually a lot further ahead. Especially for something like Tactics, because Tactics, one of the most annoying things about it is that your AOE can hit your so your you know your AOE magic can hit your own people.
Hmm.
So like there's a lot to consider with that as well. So yeah, they are inherently different and require a different degree of strategy. Um, but I do think that they share anyone who develops a love for the strategy in regards to these things um, can share a like for both, right? You know, the way that Morgan's talking about it, she may really be into it, right? I say that in large part because um, you know, Kendra in the space the other day was speaking about how she never really felt like she really had a thing with JRPGs until she actually found out she actually played a few of them, like unbeknownst to herself, right? She picked up Fire Emblem, Three Houses, and beat it, and she was like, "I just thought it was a cool game." She said, "I didn't know I didn't know that's what I was doing, you know." And I was like, "But see, that's what I told her. I was like, that's you already have a love for it, and you didn't even know it." Go ahead, Weeb. You're saying something?
Was I?
Oh, your mic activated. I thought you were saying something.
Oh,
But yeah, like yeah, it's definitely a different flow. But like I think once people get an itch for that strategy, I think it just comes out wholesale on any of those games, right? Now, obviously, some will vibe with more than others because I mean, it's like anything else, right? I always tell people, you know, like we have a love for JRPGs, a bunch of us in here, right? And then some of us, it's growing, right? But in the same sense, you know, plenty of us also play FPSs or whatever or third person shooters, but you don't. That's the one thing I always tell people. I don't love every JRPG. You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't expect anyone to love all of them either. You got to find your thing, right? And I have quirks about JRPGs as well that I don't like. One of my biggest pet peeves and things about JRPGs is a lot of the low rent ass JRPGs, right? The Japanese devs that refuse to just use the damn like Unreal Engine 5 or something and upgrade their shit, and you know you still got flat grass textures and you know all
You're
this.
talking about the As Divine series.
Yeah, like like we know the type, right? You know when you getting
Yeah,
into that C tier ass game, but it's like as far as like graphics, right? And it's like, look, man, we should have been like they need to keep up with the lowest standard of the current generation at least. So that's a big gripe for me, and one of the reasons why a lot of what you see when people think that turn based doesn't sell or this that and the third, a lot of it is presentation, right?
that's true.
A lot of people are graphics whores, like like they want, and honestly I get it because I am one, right? I can get past certain art styles and other stuff and then really enjoy a game. And clearly, people can at the end of the day if they gave games a chance. Look at the way Animal Crossing sells, right? There's nothing graphical about that game, but it sells like crack on a stick. So does Kirby and all this other stuff, right?
you
Um,
played it?
what
Animal Crossing.
I have it. I mean, I played it for a minute, but I mean, I know what it looks like though. Like I know how it plays. I've seen other people play it. Like I know how it plays. I know the idea
Animal
behind it.
Crossing is the goat.
Yeah, like that shit like transcends everything, right? Like, but the key to this is a lot in a lot of these things, right? A lot of people just don't know themselves entirely, right? Not that they don't know, because they know plenty of things that they like, right? But if you've never really gotten to something, some people will try to write something off before they get to it, right? And it's like, nah, don't
That's
do
very
that.
true. That was me. Yeah, that was me.
But you told me
Yeah, I
that,
wrote a
and then
lot of
you were
games off
like,
before I tried it. Yeah.
and then you were like, "Damn, this is kind of dope." But that's the key. Like you came away from it and came back to it and was like, let me see, right? And now you found a whole new
Hmm.
love for it, right? Like that's the one thing
Yep.
I'll tell y'all all the time. I'll tell y'all I don't like platformers and I don't like puzzlers. But that is
Yeah, you
not
don't.
yeah, but that is not all of them, right? The moment I get to a puzzle in a game, y'all always see like I'm like, God damn, like it immediately gets on my nerves. Uh, like
No, no,
that,
no.
yeah,
For me, it's any kind of racing or anything that's not turn based,
yeah.
but usually racing. When we got to do some sort of race, I'm like, what? Why?
They do be putting that
I'm the
random
same
ways in
way,
games.
like with either racing or like they say we gotta fly somewhere or something. I'm like, oh God, why? Ugh, I don't want to do that. I was like, can I skip this activity? No? Okay. Well, damn.
And there's usually a trophy attached to that shit too.
Yeah, there is. I'm just like, ugh. And you gotta be like first place or something. I'm just like, all right.
Absolutely.
Oh man. But I used to be the same way with like indies. Like I only cared about like the AAA. Like early in my my gaming experience, I would write off games that weren't, big budget AAA games. Then I
Yeah.
started getting into indies more during the PS4 era. And I realized I was like, what the fuck? I've been missing out. Like, holy shit.
There you go.
So it's just like, yeah, I just tell people, be open if you haven't tried something in gaming. Like, you never know what you're missing out on. So, you can always just try it. If you don't like it, it is what it is, but try it out. You never know.
I, I tell a lot of people um, years ago, even my cousins, all they played was the same old stuff. Call of Duty, GTA, just any shooting game. Just the same old, and even the sports games. Y'all was playing the same thing. I said, man, why don't y'all expand your gaming? Just try something new, for a change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I let them borrow my PS3. I let them use my PS3, and I let them use Assassin's Creed. I let them use God of War. I let them use these other games, Infamous. And he tried those games out, and he was like, "Yo, this game's a fire." I said, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
And so now they're buying a Horizon, they're buying God of War, they're buying Assassin's Creed, they're buying all these games that they wouldn't think of picking up, even Ghost of Tsushima. They didn't think they was gonna pick these games up, but as they were hanging around me most of the time, I showed them more variety. Now RPGs they won't touch that, but one of my cousins was like, "Yo, that game looks really good." I said, "Man, try the demo out. They got a demo for free in the store. You could try that out to see if you like it or not, man." And I don't know if he tried it or not. He didn't give me a call, but there's so many opportunities to try beyond your limits. It can't be all the same stuff over and over. You buy sports games every year. You buy Call of Duty every year. Why not? Let's see the extra stuff they got that gaming has, and yeah,
Well, I think the
they
key with it, right, is
Absolutely.
people don't know what they don't know, right? People forget that, right?
right,
Like they
yeah,
say, like the amount of times I've heard, "Oh, my kid plays Roblox," or "My kid just plays Fortnite," or whatever, or "My kid just plays Minecraft." Do they know anything else? Like I said, that was an extreme limitation of my nieces and nephews, right?
hmm
Until I really took them aside, rather than just watching me passively play and introducing them to Assassin's Creed. Hey, take the control, start it for yourself. Made them all their own PSN accounts. You know what I'm saying? It like give these you gotta start giving them that sense of accomplishment, that sense of ownership for themselves, right? Seeing what that's like to develop their own thing. Right now, they all talk about, "Hey, I played this and I played that. Look at my trophies over here and look at that." And they've gone on and played Assassin's Creed. They got the youngest girl and the oldest boy. They both got their first platinums. He got it in Spider Man because he loves Spider Man. She got it in The Walking Dead. Telltale The Walking Dead. Yeah, I don't even like that game, but she developed that on her own. That was her own interest.
Wow. The disrespect. Okay. All
But
right.
I don't.
Continue.
I don't. But I
Yeah. Uh-huh.
but that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't. I'm not stopping her from playing it though. Like she went to explore more in the store because of the games that I introduced her to. So they found that on their own and ended up getting the platinum in it. Like when someone can show you how to navigate or explore or go about these things, like you have no idea what, you know, kind of person is going to emerge. And now they're all emerging as their own different style of gamers, right? One of them really likes multiplayer. One of them really loves story. One of them, you know, uh, and sometimes they like the same thing, you know, just like us, right? We all have our things, right? And shout out to Persona on the screen, looking amazing. Um, but yeah, man, there's just so much to it, and so much nuance, and so much to gaming. Um, and you know, in opposed to that, I like I told you, I've had people who literally never touch the sticks, never touch the controller. It's, you know, it's for the kids. They had that whole mentality, and you show them the right game that sets them off, and they're like, I just gotta try it, and they're off to the races, playing Uncharted. Man, I went on the thing, and the bridge collapsed, and I swung out, and I was like, oh my god, you know, like
So,
it's
question for the panel then: what game was the game that made you expand more?
Hmm.
Mm,
that's a good question.
Um,
mm. Ladies
let me
first.
think.
Go ahead, Morgan.
I'm trying to think. It's just like you mean like as far as like branch out of what I normally play.
Yeah, like you had your little niche, and then all of a sudden you tried the one thing you tried. You was like, oh, there's more of this. Okay,
I I want to say it was probably this is probably incorrect because it was like a while ago, but the one that I remember the most, the one that really got me into, for example, indies for really like the first time was probably Journey, the game by
oh yeah, I remember that.
Santa Monica. Oh my god, that shit! I was like, I don't remember why I tried. I think it was free on PlayStation Plus or something
It
like
it
that. I
was
was
it
like,
was.
yeah, and I think I was just bored, and I was like, let's see what I got. And so I was like, okay, I got this game. Let me try. Let me download it. At first, I was like confused, like, what the hell are we doing in this game? But as I the story was in the art direction and the music, it was all great. And at the end, you know, when you finally like fly down the mountain, I cried. I was like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. And the story was so good. Like basically like it's just about like your journey through life. Like you're gonna go through like trials and tribulations and shit, but at the end when you make it, it's gonna be worth it. And I was just like, oh man, this was a beautifully told game. And I was like, all right, I gotta check out more indies because if this is what they're offering, then yeah, I gotta expand my horizon. So it was definitely Journey.
Nice.
Weeb.
Well, I'm thinking, but I don't know which game expand my horizons because they were already always very broad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't think we seem like a person who was already playing like a vast, array of different types of
Yeah,
games.
I'm kind of like him on
I
that
mean,
front.
if
I
I could say
mean,
something that
All right,
changed it for me
Mister, I hadn't played Metal Gear. All right.
while he's thinking, like for me, the thing that changed it for me, funny enough, that made me the type of gamer I am today is actually Final Fantasy VIII, because that
Mm.
was my first experience of a JRPG, and I wasn't the one that picked it up. My older brother did. Um, and I went. I remember the whole thing. I even know the Walmart. The Walmart is in North Carolina in Smithfield. I remember.
God.
I remember exactly where it is. Um,
Oh shit.
so yeah, I mean, I went with my brother. We went to the midnight. We went there at midnight to see if they put out the game, and they did. We bought the game and we bought the strategy guide. And from the moment of, I mean, literally the moment go, I was like, "What in the hell is this?" Now you got to remember, I've been playing games constantly before that, like Nintendo, SNES. Um, I had the N64. I had all that, but I had never gotten into JRPGs. They weren't on the radar. Nobody I knew played them. Nothing. And for some reason, my brother was like, I'm gonna go get this game." It was the most random shit ever, and he was like, "You want to go to the store with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're going to get a game. Let's do it." And literally, the moment he put that shit in, and the first cinematic hit, and we were in this whole new world, and I was like, wait, like I wanted to understand everything. I wanted to know everything. Everything about it was enticing. The program in the game, the seed program, everything. How does the magic work? How many swords are in the game? I didn't know everything. I was immediately just enamored with this game, and when I eventually finished it, my first time, I did 100% everything in the game. Collected all the cards, collected all the all the secret summons, everything. And from that point on, that started like just the spiral into like JRPGs over everything. Um, and of course, then you guys know eventually I tried Xenogears not too long after that, and yeah, still my favorite game to this day. So yeah, that was the change when Innate became JRPG Innate.
Oh man, the JRPG. Oh
Mm-hmm.
shit. Beginning of a
Mm,
journey right there. All right.
okay. Well,
Absolutely.
Well,
for me,
to be
we
fair, I think about maybe when I got my own PC the first time and I discovered Red Alert. That sort of
yo.
yeah, that opened a whole new world for me because if you're playing console before
Mm-hmm.
you're not really gonna play any real time strategy games.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I mean that sort of made me a huge fan of the franchise and kind of lamenting it now because it's now EA fucking killed it.
They did.
But yeah, I mean that did make me a huge fan of RTS games. That's sort of the reason why I always kept the PC around.
Hell yeah,
Gotcha,
I'm all
gotcha,
about that.
gotcha.
And that's another turning point for me. It's funny you mentioned that that was another one for me. I didn't experience it on PC, but that was the only time and the only reason I ever had a link cable for the PlayStation 1, because I would verse my older brother in Command and Conquer Red Alert on the PS1, and I would bring my TV out and sit it in the hallway outside of his door, so it would be close enough to reach his PlayStation and connect them via the link cable, so that we could verse each other in Command and Conquer Red Alert.
Yo, shout out to you for
Wow.
that one.
Yeah.
Rek,
Um, well, let's say that I've been interested in gaming a very long time, man. It actually started when my brother got a Sega Genesis. Um, for that time, man, I play, watched him play a lot of the games, and later on went to a cousin's house. He ended up getting a PS1, and for the first time I saw Final Fantasy VII. Um, I seen that for the first time. I said, okay. I said, that's that. I always watched people play, and then later on, he ended up buying Twisted Metal 2, and I watched him play for a while. And so at that time, these boys didn't have no memory card for PS1.
Mm.
They didn't
Oh
have
no.
Not no memory card.
Oh
What?
what?
damn.
I
Oh
remember
man,
those
not like that.
days.
Ooh, I missed the memory cards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. And so I watched them like play games for countless hours, trying to beat a game. Like one of the games with Gex. That was another game that my brother was trying to beat. I watched him play, trying to beat it. Oh, until my cousin girlfriend came and cut the system off.
Oh
Oh
And
no.
no.
Oh wait, hold on. What? She was
yeah,
an ex at that point, though, right?
yeah. I was I was pissed. I said, man, because I knew he was right there at the boss. He was right
Damn.
there at the boss,
Oh.
Damn.
and he was pissed off, man. Man, we was mad, bro, because they took hours to try to beat that, and so Crash Bandicoot, they was trying to beat Crash Bandicoot, man, and so it
I
was
mean, to
like
be
this boss.
fair, you can literally go back and beat the boss easy with
Nah,
Crash
it's a
Bandicoot.
matter of respect, though. Like,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
you
If
gonna
it's
plug
gonna
his
For
shit?
turn
that,
off my
yeah.
game.
For now, I would never date someone that would act like that. Like,
Oh yeah,
if
that
you
would be
don't,
instant. Like, we gonna break it up at that point. Like, all right,
Yeah.
you going past boundaries over here.
Oh, bro, especially and then
I
watched him
don't
play.
understand. I don't understand ladies' mindset that trashes someone else's console. You think he gonna just stop
Well,
gaming
no,
and
she just turned it off though. Like she just didn't know. I'll
oh,
give you,
by accident.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you the
Okay,
truth. If I didn't tell
gotcha.
my mom that I was leaving my system on for a reason, and she came in to check on me while I was asleep, she would probably just go, "That boy left that console on again,"
Oh, okay.
and just turn it off.
Maybe it's me, but it sounded a lot like she
Oh,
did
I
it
thought
on
you were in the middle of a
purpose.
session. Oh, okay. I thought she just came through and was like, "Nah, I'll get
Yeah,
off of
I
this,"
thought
and
that's
unplugged
what
it. I was like,
sounded
"Oh,
Nah.
that he did it
okay,
on purpose.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard the same thing, Omar. It's okay."
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's more than okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't have to do that, but she did it. She did it on purpose.
I
And
mean,
so
Yeah, if you do it on
on
purpose,
purpose.
it's different. Yeah.
Okay. Viper.
well,
Rec, were you finished?
no, oh
I
no, I
think.
wasn't finished.
Oh, sorry
Um,
about that. Continue. Thank you for telling me that, Viper.
it's it's like it's like over time. It's just like when my mom finally get us a PlayStation. It was around 95 or 96. When it was 96,
Yeah,
and
96.
she brought Monopoly with it. And my mom, she had a game. She had an Atari at one point, and so she was not into gaming like that, but she had something. And so I watched my mother and my brother go at it on Monopoly on PS1, and they played it until it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and she beat him. So it was moments like that that felt like, man, just I just love how people get excited to play, and I sit there and I was just watching, and so when my mom brought Army Man 3D, and when she brought Small Soldiers for PS1, I started to get my hands on the controller, and but I did get my hands on the controller on the Super Nintendo, so I did play Mario beforehand, but this right here was like, okay, let's see. And so my brother was into a lot of gaming, so he didn't have a limit. He just tried different games and stuff and play. And so when he had that 14 game demo disc that it came with, we was
PlayStation Underground.
yeah, we was trying different games to see how they were, and we were just it was just man, it was amazing to see how many games we could play, and so I got into it more and more and more. And then when the PS2 came out, it was just different. I was like, okay, let's see what the PS2 got for us. Man, my mom got the Gran Turismo Ace Pack, the Gran Turismo 3 Ace Pack, and ATV, some racing games. I said, okay, I didn't mind the racing. I didn't care for it, but I did enjoy what I enjoyed. So I didn't let these games go to waste. So that's what got me into Gran Turismo. Really, was it was a demo back on PS1 that started it off, and so it
So
just variety of
Gran
games.
Turismo was a turning point for you for
Yeah,
racing games.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, and test drive too also made a way too. It kind of paved the way because I used to play demos, and the demos helped me understand each game, how they are played, and so I had memories, fond memories of different gaming. It didn't stop at one game or one
Right.
variety. It was just variety of countless games to try, and so it's like it made me expand my thoughts. I was like, let's go try other games. And so the PS2 came around. That's when I went even deeper. And so RPGs, I was already into RPGs already. Legend of Dragoon was one, but I really started off with Final Fantasy because I saw Final Fantasy 7 for the first time. But I didn't really get into the story until I really got into other RPGs before that. So it's like, yeah, it was a moment. There was so many moments of time that, dude, we get to wake up in the morning, go play a game. Oh, Christmas, go play a game. Birthdays, I got me a new game. It'd be,
That's a memory lane for you right there.
oh
Hmm.
yeah. It's like man, I don't feel that no more. I don't
So
feel it like
so
I used.
for so for you, there
I
you feel like there's not really that one, but it was just all of it, all all the time.
Right. It was just different. different things that just got my attention. Different platforms of like because my variety didn't limit. I didn't have a limit, and so I was tracking different games how they play, and so that's what kept me going. Indies just it was no problem trying out games. It really was a problem. And PC, watch my brother play SWAT 3 on SWAT 2 on PC, strategize and how to take down an enemy and stuff. I watched him do all these stuff, and I learned to play as I watched him do it. And so I got into Command and Conquer. I got into SWAT. I got into all kinds of different games that I would never see myself playing, but it just it just happened naturally because my brother was already into it already, and so but he was mostly in sports and stuff, but he had variety outside of sports, and so that's where my variety really comes. That's where I started to really go after any kind of game. That I didn't care which game it was. I was wondering if this game is good or not. It was worth my time, and so yeah, um, that's about it, man.
No, no
Gotcha,
doubt.
gotcha, gotcha. Viper?
Uh, for me, it was two. As I stated before, I think Kyra, you already know most of this because we did had
Yeah.
this private discussion. Um, uh, growing up, Genesis, Super Nintendo, Live Madden, 98, 99, 2000, Live Madden, 96, 95. That's all we kept playing with my friends, and I
That
didn't
was
know anything.
peak. Those
I
peak
didn't
sport
know.
games.
Yeah, I didn't know anything else existed. Um, and they would stay whipping my ass in those games, and I wasn't having no fun. I was like, man, fuck these games. And then Sonic and Mario came about, and I know they were out before the basketball game and football games, but I didn't discover them until somebody decided to buy something different. Actually, no, I went over a new friend's house that I just met, and he had Sonic, and I was like, oh, this exists. Okay, so then I was on the platforms. So platforms and sports until that fateful day I was in Funko and I saw Mario
Wow.
RPG.
This man said Funko Land. God damn.
Jesus.
I saw Mario RPG sitting on a demo stand, and I went over. I picked up the controller and I started playing it, and I was like, oh, this is nobody told me about this shit. From that moment forward, I have disowned, don't even recognize anything other than RPGs because I was so pissed that nobody told me about those until I was like 14 years old. That's when I discovered it.
I feel you. My man was
Wow.
like, I'm going in. I
Gotcha.
want it all.
Well,
For
but
me, oh,
wait,
sorry, go ahead.
one more thing. I wound up ending that game in Funkoland on the demo stand
God,
over a week,
this man. He said, I'm coming back.
and
I'm gonna finish that.
the reason the owners of the store would let me in to play because as I was demoing, people would watch it and go, "Oh, mom, I want that game," or can we get that game?"
Yo, you got free publicity. You got a fucking game out of it. Let's go. Win-win.
Hell
So
I
yeah.
flip
that's
with
just me.
excitement, but that's literally dream job. If I say so myself.
Yeah, I didn't get paid for it or nothing. They just
No,
allowed me to play it. They just allowed
you
me to
didn't
play
get.
it.
Nah, I'm pretty sure that's enough payment for
Oh
you.
yeah, no doubt.
Precisely. Um, for me, I thought about it long and hard, and I can't think of one game because I'm I grew up with the Nintendo. I grew up with the Sega. I grew up with Command and Conquer. I had two uncles that started the PlayStation PC cafe, where you would go there. You could either rent a PlayStation or you could stay there and sit. And for the most part, if there was no customers, I would go there and play, whether PlayStation or whether on some PC. That's how I discovered my love for Command and Conquer. And I played a little bit of football, but most of the part I was playing on PlayStation. What's called Crash or Spyro or Rayman back when Rayman was good with Rayman, not Legend. Legend is great. The other Rayman is horrible. So yeah, moving to PlayStation 2 and 3, like if a game, most of it I didn't even complain. I played what I had access to, and I had access to a lot of games, different genre, Bloody Roar, Command and Conquer, you name it, I played it. So when I moved on to PlayStation 4, 5, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just play as many games as I can, and I have access to. And even after I had this rule, try a game, even if not for you. Try a game and see if it's work or not. And real talk, I threw that rule out of the window when I played fucking Battletoad, the remake one.
Oh shoot.
One of the worst game I have ever experienced. I was like, I need my fucking time back. That's insulting to me.
Omar said, "I ain't never
And
getting that time back." How dare y'all?
I
or or
I
or those
never
brain cells.
I never even finished it. Like to me, I was so disrespected when it went from a space section to a literally 1 minute and a half on Earth section, only to send you back to the space section, doing almost the entire previous mission, only more difficult. That's what I was like. You're fucking padding the game for the sake of padding. I'm over. I'm gone. So I left. But yeah, no, gaming
It-
have
It's supposed to be a
been.
happy. It's supposed to be a happy moment, Omar. Why are you ending on some terrible shit?
Um, okay, happy moment. I started game sharing with someone, and he have almost 90% of the games
Yeah.
that I am playing, and I'm having a blast. And
There you go. It was
which
a
is
turn.
going
It
to be
was a
the fight.
turning point for your for your
Yep,
time management.
which is going to be the final topic. Shout out to Casey, Casey. She said in a space with either Jabari or Persona, I forgot which one it is, and she said that she is not having any enjoyment out of any new game she's playing. So I wanted to make that a mini topic, and I'm curious about every single one of you. I'm gonna start first. I'm the opposite of her. Every single time I play a different game, I'm like so thankful I'm playing it, and I'm so happy and giddy that I am experiencing it. Not a moment in my life did I think, oh, a new game, whatever. Every single time I'm playing a new game or a demo, I'm genuinely excited for what I'm playing. So, Viter, do you
Yeah.
have ever a moment where you're like, new game, whatever?
No. Normally, I get a new game. I'm like, all right, let's jump into this. There is one thing that's slightly. I'm not gonna lie. There's sometimes where I platinum a game. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm ready for the next game.
Yeah, that's
And then I'm
different.
like, hold on. And then I pick a game and I go, all right, I'm gonna play this one. And then I stare at it for like 10 minutes, and I go, okay, you can start the game up now. And I stare at it. And the reason why is because I got to get used to new game mechanics. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
whole thing with me with the buttons and how they change between different games.
Mm-hmm.
Even through JRPGs and RPGs in general, the buttons will change regardless of what game you're playing. So I'll have a hang up of about 20 minutes, and then I'll go downstairs talk to my wife. The next thing I know, it's like 7 hours later. I'm like, all right, I need to get started on this game. And so I get started, and once I'm in it, I'm happy again. But it's getting used to new game mechanics that might give me pause, but I'm always happy when the game is actually booted up.
Gotcha. Zrek,
Yo.
gotcha.
Mhm.
Weeb,
Uh, Yeah, I mean, I can't speak for her, but to me, if I
No,
don't enjoy,
you're speaking for yourself.
if I
Do
don't
you?
enjoy if I don't enjoy the game, then yeah, I'm not gonna continue playing it. I mean, it's that
No,
simple.
no, no, no. She is not enjoying a game. She is not excited about new games. She get she thought she wants to start playing a game, and she is not feeling the excitement that she used to feel.
Oh,
So it seems like she is almost outgrowing gaming, in a sense.
I mean, I I can't really relate to that because sure, there's differences between there might be periods where there's nothing really coming out as appealing, but or that's really exciting you. But I mean, there's always something on the horizon. I
No,
mean,
you're still not getting it. Imagine, Last of Us 2. You're excited about it. It comes out, and you're like, oh, okay, that's it. And you don't have that excitement to play it.
well,
It really sounds
I
like
think
she's almost outgrown gaming.
yeah, okay,
well,
but
So,
I wouldn't.
I think
I
you're
would
not
say.
getting my point.
Go
Uh,
ahead, go ahead.
I'm trying to say is that for me, I don't give a shit about her. You just told me it's about me. For me, that's not the case. I mean, it's only there might be moments where you don't have anything that truly excites you, but there's always something coming. I mean, I'm hell excited for God for Ragnarok. There's a ton of games still coming this year that I'm really looking forward to. I mean, I'm totally gonna jump onto Bayonetta 3 when that comes out in October. I mean, I don't have that now. And it's so yeah, maybe she's outgrown. I mean,
Well,
outgrown sounds pretty dumb, really, because
yeah,
it's not
what
like you
else can
can.
you say?
I,
Well,
I was about. I
you
was
can't
about to
be.
say outgrowing is
Go
outgrowing
ahead.
is not the proper term, because that would assume that you're maturing out of it. I would say gaming tastes have changed.
Yeah.
Gaming what?
The
I,
gaming taste, her gaming tastes have probably
well,
changed.
I'd say
Not per
burned out.
se,
Maybe
because she
more
still enjoys
thinking.
her retro games. She still gets giddy out of them. But just the new games, she is
Oh, the
not
new
that.
game. Well,
Yeah,
that's the point. Maybe she's not into the newer games. Maybe she wants to keep going with the old retro ones. But for an analogy, understand this. It's like a person who I understand what we were saying. It's like a person who has depression. For me, I can never understand a person having depression because I'm always happy. I'm always doing. I'm not always happy, but I'm always looking forward to something. There's
yeah,
something in this life that I can always go after. So I don't understand depression or how people go about dealing with it.
you're lucky.
Maybe that's what we were saying. He doesn't have a mindset like she does, so he don't understand the mindset that she has.
You're lucky. I deal with depression every single day. It's a common thing for me.
It's
Um,
I know several people, but I'm just saying I don't under I don't under I'm gonna
you
just
don't
leave that.
understand it
I'm gonna
because
leave it on.
some people don't have it, which uh, thank God for that. Trust me, you don't want it. Um, we have a late, late comer. We gotta give her a punishment for some reason. Shout out, Top K. How are you doing? Good morning.
Hey, I'm doing good. Yeah, I just woke up.
Welcome. Very quick. The topics were Death Stranding heading to Game Pass PC. Do you have any what's called comment about that?
um, I mean, I don't know why anyone's really upset because it's just PC. So, I mean, everyone who has a PC that wanted to play it, that didn't have Game Pass PC has already played it, and if now they want to play it, I mean, been on PC and it's just staying on PC. It's not going to Xbox console Game Pass or anything like that. So that's my thoughts on it.
Gotcha. I'm pretty sure you have nothing to add to the JRPG versus action RPG conversation.
No.
Yeah, precisely. And the final topic for you would be then, have you which game did you play that broadened your horizon?
I don't know. That's kind of tough because like I played a variety of games just growing up.
You like us,
Like
yeah.
you know, started out playing stuff like Spyro and Medal of Honor, Tony Hawk's, Ape Escape, stuff like that. Resident Evil opened me up to survival horror that because I've always liked horror stuff as a kid, but it wasn't until Resident Evil that I was like, okay, I really like these games, these type of games, and which survival horror in itself is still fairly niche. But that opened me up to the survival horror genre. And then let's see, played a lot of Pokemon. And let's see, a lot of Nintendo games. Like I would say one of my favorite platformer Nintendo like Game Boy handheld games back in the day was I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of the Mega Man games. I really liked that one. Let's see, and then GTA for open world, Vice City. That opened me up a little bit more to open world type games. Let's see, a Nintendo 64, Mario Party, and Mario 64. And then I went through a phase where I only played on the PS2 was Tekken and Need for Speed Underground.
Nice. You played Most Wanted and Carbon?
Yeah, I played Most Wanted. I did not play Carbon. I played Hot Pursuit, but I did not like that nearly as much as Underground. I really liked the street racing a lot more than the Hot Pursuit version of it. Let's see.
Do you play Need for Speed nowadays?
No, like once I found Underground, that's the only version I wanted to play. Let's see. Then I played God of War, and that really got me into action with combos in them.
Hack and slash. Action
Yeah,
and hack and slash.
hack and slash. Yeah.
Are you into Devil May Cry?
Do what? Devil May Cry? I played one of them and I liked it. But unfortunately, growing up, I didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't buy every single game that I wanted. But I did like, I can't remember, I want to say it was Devil May Cry 2, I think.
Oh, good. I'm so sorry for you. Two is literally the black sheep of the bunch.
I think it was Devil May Cry 2. I can't remember. It was definitely one of the earlier Devil May Cries.
Gotcha.
Let's see.
You played Infamous, the Infamous franchise?
Yes, I loved Infamous.
You played Prototype?
Which one?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Yeah, I played 1 and 2. And what was it? The one that came out for, was it PS4? Was like one of the launch titles.
Yeah, that's Prototype 1.
Okay. Yeah.
One.
Yes.
You played Okami?
No, I've not played Okami. I remember when it came out and it was in like the like at GameStop, and I remember like I looked at it and I was like, I only want to play it because it's that is it a
Oh,
wolf?
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I just want to play it because of that. But like I said at the time, I didn't have a lot of
Yeah.
money, so couldn't buy it. Um, let's see. What else was there? Um, I wasn't really a big indie game player. Um, it's kind of sad, but I would think probably Kana was the one that opened me up to looking more at indie
What?
games. Yeah,
Until Kana? That's
Kana.
interesting. Oh, by the way, are you aware in Kana is getting an update? New
Yeah,
enemies, more boss
yeah.
phases. Are you gonna jump
Mhm.
back in?
Um, I'm not sure. I might do a new game plus if I jump back in. I'm not gonna go for the platinum because it was hard enough for
You're with
me already
Morgan.
to beat it on normal.
You're with Morgan then.
Right there with you, Kay. Don't feel bad. I said the same thing. So that game kicked my ass on normal, so I'm good.
I mean, there was times where I wanted to throw the controller. Like I died
Facts.
like in an embarrassing amount of times on
Yep.
like two
Oh,
different bosses, and I was
which
like, you know
boss?
what?
Facts.
Like at the end of the game, I was like,
Oh,
oh, that was a good game, but then I was like, but I'm
oh,
done.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Same.
are you talking about between the three sections that you need to beat the final boss?
Yeah, I think it was the final not the final boss, but the one right before him.
Oh, I know what
Um,
you're talking about. The dot fire. I know. Yeah, I know.
yeah, that
Yeah,
one, and then it was the first hard boss where you got the mask.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Toho. I think
yeah,
Toho, something
those
like
are
that.
the two I really struggled with.
That's
Um,
when the game went from kiddie to now you need to put the big boy what's called pants on if you want to finish the game.
I was like, holy shit, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, the difficulty ramped up. For me, the best fight would be the blacksmith. I love the blacksmith fight so much because you can't just damage her. You need to destroy her furniture in order to damage her. I love that. And for me would be then the final topic for you would be as well is did um are you when you start a new game, do you still get excitement out of it or is it just another game for you?
I mean, it depends on the game. Like, let's say, not too long ago, I played Unravel 2 because I was looking for co-op games to play, couch co-op games to play with my daughter. And so, like, I was never really interested in it, like, from a from like me, what
Mm-hmm.
I would want to play. I was just looking for, co-op games, and I saw that it was co-op. And so, when I started it, I wasn't like excited for it as in terms of, oh, I really want to play this game. I was more excited that like, okay, I'm going to play a game with my daughter. But
Mm-hmm.
then when there's games that I am excited for, I'm super excited to play and I can't wait. And if it's a midnight launch, I will stay up all night just to be able to hit play.
And when you play it, you're giddy.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Why am I hearing myself? Okay. Anything else you wanna add?
Um, no. Alternation.
Congratulations, you found a
Modern
cheat code
Nation.
where you're able to literally thumbs up an entire podcast
Automation.
in less than 5 minutes. I heard that, Weeb. It's not time for that yet.
I'm sorry, it's reflex.
Uh-huh. Um, who didn't, because Kay jumped in, I forgot who was next to us. I asked Viper, I asked Morgan, I asked you, Weeb, and I think Innate is the final one. And then I'm gonna close it with Innate.
You did not ask me, but it's fine.
I asked you. Oh, I asked you, but you didn't answer. You didn't answer? No, wait. Did you answer? Oh, fuck me. Go ahead, Morgan. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think it was what's her name, Casey. Personally,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, go ahead. I
okay.
thought you didn't remember the question. That's why
No,
I
no,
wanted
no,
to ask it.
no. I remember the question. Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like, maybe she needs to. I don't know. What she plays or anything like that. But maybe she has to expand her gaming library to different genres or different platforms. Maybe she'll find something to pique her interest. I know sometimes I get open world
She's a
fatigue.
multiplayer, multi-console owner. She just don't seem to have any passion to play the
And
game.
maybe she just needs to like take a break for a little while. Sometimes she just gotta take a break and recharge and come back and you'll be excited again. But
Maybe.
like I said, I know sometimes I get open world fatigue, and that's why I like to break down what I play and put indies in the middle of triple A's. If I play like two triple A's back to back, especially open world, I like to play like an indie in between it because I sometimes get tired. I'm like, all right, this is all overwhelming. I need something like just smaller, more nicher, something I can finish in like 5 or 6 hours, something that won't overload my brain. But that's kind of my strategy. But I don't ever really feel like when I turn on a new game like uninspired or meh about it. Like, I'm usually a good judge of the games that I play. So if I pick a game to play and I buy it, I download it, I'm always excited to play it. So
Okay. Yeah, I'm the same way. Innate, you're the final one, and then we're gonna close it up. Going once?
Do what? What happened? Sorry, I was getting my truck ready.
Nah,
oh, he's
you're not
Nate.
Innate. We're waiting on Innate. Going
Oh, okay. I'll
twice?
probably
Going
I heard you, Miss Morgan, though. How dare
thrice?
you? I'm not surprised, though. Honestly.
Yeah, he does me.
Every
Yeah,
time. It's like
he's
every
real
time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I'm just gonna close it out then. Shout out to everyone that came through. Shout out to chat that came through. Strictly, Dime, uh, Fresh, and the rest. Shout out to Mud doing work, Morgan. Shout out to Cyber Dragon. Shout out to everyone that came through. Real talk. And with that being said, let's get into our outros. Weep, where people can find you.
You can find me on Twitter as the Weep Sheriff at Infinite Rhizome, and you also can find me on YouTube as the Weep Sheriff. And Other Nation.
Otter Nation.
Otter
Lady,
Nation.
wait on your turn.
Oh man. All right.
No, when one
Thank you
says
very
Otter
much.
Nation, we all have to say
We
Otter
have to,
Nation.
It's
No,
it's
you
Come
have
on.
to wait on your
it's
turn, please. Thank you very much. Okay,
Man, a hater.
where people can find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Kaleigh, KALEIGH 1103. I am the profile that has a dog with a PlayStation beanie, and on top of Kratos' body, God of War. Go Ragnarok.
Let's go.
And from the sound of it, you seem to be staying in your lane.
uh,
I will never let
Literally.
this
I
one
mean,
go.
I,
I'm sorry.
I only stay in my lane unless I need to swerve to hit you,
Oh, man.
Good
Oh,
not
man,
to
one.
violent.
knock
Good
you back
one.
in your lane.
I will allow it.
Oh,
Innate, you can find Innate at the real Innate on Twitter. And Viper Reap, close it up where people can find you.
You can find me not giving a fuck. No, seriously.
oh man.
That's
Oh,
Viper Reap.
hey! So you go from the legend to not give a fuck in a span of one episode. Okay, I
No.
see.
It's Viper Reap everywhere except Twitter. It's Reap Viper. I'm going back in my corner.
You messed it up. You're supposed to say I slither. I'm slithering back to my corner.
Yeah, slither, non-slither. I don't know.
Ah, you're a viper. You always slither.
Yeah.
Up with the cap. Okay, yeah, now. This was a great conversation. Shout out to everyone that came through.
Oh man, this man didn't let me close it out. Wow.
Again?
Oh
Jesus.
man,
Yo,
Omar.
Omar,
Every
how?
single
Jeez.
I
fucking
How?
forgot.
time. Multiple times.
I forgot.
Omar said anyway. So anyway, we're moving on. Closing the show.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I truly forgot
He
you.
said the
Mm,
last Viper. As soon as you said that, I said, okay.
Oh
I
my
was
god.
waiting for it. See, would he do it? Would he really do it again?
Yeah, I was like, what
I,
is he going to? That's why I let
I,
him. I was like, because maybe he'll remember, but no, he just kept
I,
on.
Normally
I
it's once per
swear,
podcast. He
I
did it twice.
swear, I swear I am not doing this on purpose. I
It's
swear.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
You know,
just did, Omar.
You
He
just
said,
I,
made
I
all the
believe it's not on purpose. I believe it's not on purpose because that's just who you are.
oh man, oh
No,
man.
no. It's actually my medicine. But let's
Mm.
continue. Oh my
Oh
god, this is
shit.
so funny. Oh man. Lady, where people can find you?
Okay. It's Morgan, aka Chill Bandit. You can find me on Twitter. Yeah, shout out to everybody on the panel today. Happy to see Kay come through. I know you working hard, but I'm always happy when you come on the show.
Who?
Kay? What you
Oh
mean?
yeah,
See,
shout out
oh
to
my
her.
god.
You
No,
know, we have to ask.
I didn't
We have
hear
to
the
ask for
name.
permission to exist.
He
I
said
didn't
who?
hear the name.
You know,
All right.
with Omar, we have to ask permission to even exist.
You right. You right. Oh man. Oh, we love you, Omar. But yeah, shout out to the fellow panel members. Shout out to the chat. Everybody coming through. Love to see my fellow gaming Twitter community in the chat. Great topics today. Good discussion. And see everybody next Saturday.
And since I remembered, Zarek, where people can find you?
I think he dropped.
Oh, okay.
He dropped right before the outros.
Okay, gotcha. People can find me at Carb_Shihab on Twitter. And Animate Squad this week didn't happen because every single member had something to do. Next week, so wano is definitely a conversation to be have. And other than that, yeah, you can also find me at Vitamin G Podcast every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, shout out to everyone that came through. And have a nice day, everyone. Since in Nate, I think I should be able to end it from here. We should be off. Yeah, we are off air. Shout out to